Chugiak. We are so glad you're here tonight as your Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks take on their rivals to the north, the Mat-Su Miners. It promises to be a night of fast-action Alaska League baseball. Tonight's game brought to you by Jalapenos Mexican Restaurant in Eagle River and in South Anchorage at the new location on the old Seward Highway. It's amazing at Jalapenos. Now the starting lineup for the visiting Miners tonight. Batting first, number 3, the left fielder, Kobe Boulware. Batting second, number 17, the second baseman, Cody Huff. Batting third, number 2, the center fielder, Eric Webb. Batting fourth, number 8, the third baseman, Tanner Carlson. Batting fifth, number 6, the right fielder, Justin Kirby. Batting sixth, number 15, the first baseman, Aaron Walters. Batting seventh, number 18, the catcher, Sam Thompson. Batting eighth, number 20, the designated hitter, Matt Palmer. Batting ninth, number 10, the shortstop, Caton Hogan. The starting pitcher for the Miners, number 32, Nolan Monahan. The Miners head coach, Tyler LeBrun. The Miners assistant coach, David Dennis. And the Miners pitching coach, Jeff Erla. Now the starting lineup for your hometown Chinooks. Batting first, number 15, the right fielder, Mason Corpez. Batting second, number 22, the center fielder, Jess Davis. Batting third, number 23, the catcher, J. Paul Fullerton. Batting fourth, number 24, the first baseman, Ethan English. Batting fifth, number 12, the left fielder, Hayden Keller. Batting sixth, number 44, the designated hitter, Daniel Freeman. Batting seventh, number 8, the third baseman, Joe Brazil. Batting eighth, number 2, the second baseman, Dylan Gardner. Batting ninth, number 7, the shortstop, Peyton Fullerton. The starting pitcher for your Chinooks, number 18, Jackson Beck. The Chinooks head coach, John Grove. The Chinooks GM and pitching coach, Chris Beck. The Chinooks assistant coach, Dalton Smith, Sam Potter, and Troy Hervey. And the Chinooks broadcast team at Chinooks Radio on YouTube, Josh Salem and Wyatt Weaver. Joining us to sing our national anthem tonight, please give a big Lee Jordan Field welcome to our Chinook Volunteer of the Year. This is Coda McCoy.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose vast stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, and the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does the star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Eagle River Journal, Coda McCoy. Thank you so much, Coda. Hey, now here's a very special guest with a very special message.
To close out this season, we have 2 young guys that are going to get this play started. We've got Ryder, who has done it before, and he's brought along his 2-year-old brother, Hatcher. So, boys, take it away. Look at the crowd.
Well, hello and welcome out to Lee Jordan Field as the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks are facing off against the Mat-Su Miners. It is the end of the season and the final game for the Chinooks. The Chinooks had a close one yesterday, couldn't make it happen though, and unfortunately will not make the playoffs. But all the same, they've had an incredible season, and we're going to get to hear from some players throughout. Josh Salem here, Wyatt Wewell as well. Final game for all of us, and pretty exciting season, eh, Wyatt?
It was a great season. I'm glad I was able to be a part of this team this year, even though we are going to miss the playoffs, but it was a hard-fought season, and we've had a lot of fun doing it.
It was for sure. The starting lineup for the Mat-Su Miners, Kobe Boulware, the left fielder, leading things off. Batting second, Cody Huff. At second base, the center fielder, Eric Webb, bats third. Four-hole Tanner Carlson at third base. Justin Kirby, the right fielder, bats fifth. Six-hole Aaron Walters at first base. Seven-hole is Sam Thompson behind the plate. Matt Palmer hits as the designated hitter today, and the Caden Hogan, the shortstop, bats ninth. They will all face Jackson Beck. He's making his AIA debut. His start on the mound, the pitching coach and general manager of Chris Beck for the Chinooks, his son. And he's going to play at Masters College next year. And it's pretty exciting getting his debut for the Chinooks. Been coming up here his entire life, every single summer. No summer ball for him. And this is basically it for him. Basically, summer ball has consisted of coming up with AIA and getting to hang out with the team. Never gotten an appearance, but he gets one tonight. Pretty exciting.
Yeah, it is. And these fans really love Jackson. They've all seen him grow up as he's been out here for 19 years of his life now, and I think 10 at this ballpark. And he's been really influential in the Chinooks, and he's designed most of our gear too. He works really hard behind the scenes, and now it's really nice to get to see him start for the first time.
Yeah, gets a big start here, and the home plate umpire today is Marcus Dolan behind the plate, Tom Swoboda at the first base side, and Brad Polk, third base umpire. Wind-up work through here, and the first pitch opens things up with strike one from Jackson Beck here to Kobe Boulware. Boulware's had a phenomenal season trying to keep that going. He's a .250 hitter, 21 hits in 84 at-bats, 18 runs scored as well. And the next pitch is off-speed for strike two, painting the lower third of the strike zone. 0-2 count to get us started here. No outs, no wind here at Lee Jordan Field. Beautiful day for baseball to close out this season. 0-2 pitch and the delivery as it's in the dirt. Good block from Fullerton. Defensively, the Chinooks like this. It's Hayden Keller in left field, center Jess Davis, right field Mason Corbett, third base Joe Brazil, shortstop Pate Fullerton, second Dylan Gardner, at first base Ethan English. Daniel Freeman will be the designated hitter for the Chinooks, and again, J. Paul Fullerton behind the plate. Fastball missing low. Ties the count 2-2 here to Kobe Boulware. Huff waiting on deck as the second baseman. Zach Sundine warming in the bullpen as well. Left-hander on the mound. 2-2 delivery. Swung on, foul tipped out of play, and will reset. Been an incredible season for the Chinooks. It didn't work out for him in the win column, but all the same, been a good one. And that pitch will miss high. Running a full count here, no outs to the leadoff of Kobe Boulware. Miners trying to win this game so that they can host out in Wasilla. Should say out in Palmer, basically. And the 3-2 delivery. Runs high and a walk to Kobe Boulware to start things off here. Cody Huff up next. So Brad Polk, the third base umpire, will trot on over behind Beck. David Dennis, the assistant coach, third base side, and first base coach Tyler LeBrun is the head coach. Jeff Erlob, first base coach today, as Boulware works a walk from Jackson Beck. Cody Huff in the right-hander's batter's box awaiting his first pitch. And it comes in as strike one. Chest high, right at the top of the zone. Again, Bear Mountain out in right center field as the flagpole is in left center, and runner is going. The throw down to second. Will it be in time? Tag applied, and he's out. Brad Polk rings him up, sliding into second. And we'll trot back to the third base side. Boulware thought he was safe, but he is caught stealing. Great throw to help it out. Ball one sails high. And if you're going to miss, that's where you want it to be to throw down. J. Paul Fullerton, these past few games, very few runners have been able to steal against him. 1-1 count, one out, as Beck will work through the windup again. Curveball falling a little low, 2-1 count.
As you said, J. Paul has been on fire. I believe he threw out two guys last night and one already in the first out of the game tonight. He's been really strong with that arm down to second base.
3-1 count as that pitch falls high. And so Beck will have to work from behind here. Try and get Cody Huff, Eric Webb on deck, best hitter in the ABL currently. And chopped third base side foul. Full count, second at bat in a row. And Beck trying to win this one. Give up a leadoff walk to Bulware, but all the same, got a little help from his defense with Bulware being caught on the throw out from J. Paul Fullerton. And Beck, again, the Chinooks, since they didn't make the playoffs on this next pitch, chopped foul. The Chinooks pitching staff was elected to choose who they wanted to start this game, and it was unanimous that they wanted Jackson to start this game. And gets his first appearance in the ABL as well as his first start, and that's pretty special moving in to go play at Masters College on the West Coast in the lower 48 next year. 3-2 pitch, and this one's going to hit him on the back of the butt on a curveball, and he'll trot down to first base. Sets up the double play, though. Nobody hurt, with Eric Webb up next on the hit by pitch. Jackson's gotten to 2 strikes on the first 2 guys, but a walk and hit by pitch leads it off. All the same, though, it's got to be a lot of emotions right now for Jackson coming in, and with this being his first appearance in the ABL. Most of those guys have already worked through it at the beginning half of the season. Not Jackson. He's trying to find it here. Pick off the first in the dirt on the turf side of first base, but a good job by Ethan English over there to corral it. Tom Sabota, again, the first base umpire, right there on the call as well. First pitch home, strike 1 on the outer edge. Eric Webb, pretty dead pull. Likes to yank it to the left side if he can get around one, even if it's an outside pitch. Right now, the Miners are a game behind the Pilots. They have the season series, though, so if they can win this one, they'll both be tied at 26. And this one will actually hit him in the back as well. So runners on first and second, back-to-back hit by pitches. Carlson up next. Puts runners in scoring position. But double play still in order here for Carlson. J. Paul Fullerton coming out for conversation here with Beck. Got a smile on his face. You know he's enjoying it. He's trying to get 2 more outs here without giving up any runs in the first and second. And boy, wouldn't it be special for Beck to get out of this one and Chinooks put up a couple runs in the bottom of the first, maybe get him the win tonight. That'd be something. Strike 1 down the middle. Huff out at second, reached by hit by pitch, as did Webb. He's at first base. And so we got runners on first and second. First out was Bulware, who tried to swipe second base, caught by half a step from J. Paul Fullerton's arm. Huff extending out at second base. Gardner working him. This pitch missing low, and a good block for Fullerton. I can't tell you how many games J. Paul has actually played behind the plate. He had a few where he got hurt, and Joe Brazil had to take up the charge from third base, moving in as a backup catcher. And Jake Collins, who also was a catcher for the Chinooks, stayed for a while, got hurt. Next pitch, hit to center. This should be a line out. Huff is going to have to retreat, as it will, to center field. Second out, retired, brings up the right fielder Justin Kirby on the fly out to center. 2 outs now. And the home run derby winner this year, Justin Kirby, steps into the right-hander's batter's box. Back a long look in. Delivery home. And it's going to be a foul. No, it's going to be a hit by pitch as it gets him right under the arm. We'll load the bases here for Aaron Walters, the left-handed hitting first baseman. Outs at every base here. I think he's okay. Justin Kirby a little bit banged up there. One right off the elbow, and I think it might have just hit him in the funny bone. So it'll load up the bases here. 2 outs, though. Chinooks looking for one at any base to Aaron Walters, the Texas A&M Aggie. Will step in. Defense going to play straight away in the outfield. The infield will shade a little towards the right side. Pate Fullerton will work Eric Webb at second. At third, Cody Huff. At first is Justin Kirby. All reached by hit by pitches, but The left-hander of Aaron Walters will face back here. And first pitch, a little bit outside, ball 1. Well, as it is shown, Jackson is not afraid to go inside. He's had a few get away from him. Was trying to go inside to Justin Kirby there. It happened to clip him right in the elbow. This pitch is going to miss low, and a 2-0 count, 2 outs. Jackson Beck, the 6'3" right-handed pitcher. Try and work all the way behind here. 2-0 count, 2 outs. Aaron Walters. Just put it around the plate, see what Walters can do in the delivery. That will be strike 1. Back pick to third. It's thrown into left. All runners will move up as it was thrown wide of Joe Brazil. He couldn't grab it. 1 run is in on the error from J. Paul Fullerton. And that was a strike on the outer edge. The Miners take the 1-0 lead as Cody Huff comes in to score. And both runners move up, so the out will be at first base if the Chinooks can get it here. Try and strand Webb and Justin Kirby at second and third base. Pitch here outside. 3-1 count, 2 outs. Zach Sundine up and throwing again in the bullpen for the Chinooks. Trying to get Jackson out of this one. 3-1 delivery. Deep breath, thrown in the dirt. Good block, but it'll walk to put on a runner. So loads the bases again. Here for Sam Thompson. And Chris Beck is out for a meeting with his son, Jackson. We'll pause here for a moment. We'll be back in a second. You're listening to Chinooks Baseball. Back and ready for some more action here in the first inning. Unfortunately, Beck was pulled. Zach Sundine is in, and Beck giving up 1 run on an error, so it'll go as an unearned run with 2 outs here. Bases loaded. Beck not his best outing. 2 walks, 3 hit by pitches. Did get a fly out to center, as well as some help from J. Paul Fullerton for out number 1 to get a caught stealing against Kobe Bulware. As Sundine comes in, works ball 1 just a little inside. Zach coming out of his will be a senior, in the fall at MSU Denver. 5'10" left-hander out of Aurora, Colorado. 2.3 record, 4.15 ERA. Making his 10th appearance. Hit to right field on a line. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Mason Corbett will cut it off. 1 run is in. 2 will score as the runners move up to third base. Aaron Walters to third. And 2 more runs come in. Miners take a 3-0 lead here in the first, as Huff, Webb, and and Kirby have all scored. Walters at third now with Sam Thompson's 2-run single to right field. Delivery home outside. Here to Matt Palmer, the Palmer, Alaska native. Steps into the front half of the right-hander's batter's box, as closest to the plate as he can get. And the pitch here is going to be strike one and a half. 1-1 count, 2 outs. As of right now, the Bucks finish the season at the top with 29-14 record. Pilots in second, 26-18. Will remain there if the Miners lose this one. This one in the dirt. 2-1 count awaiting. Miners again 25-18, just a half game behind the Pilots. The Oilers clinch fourth place at 15-29, and the Chinooks 13-29 right now. Next pitch, poke down the right field line. Mason Corbett tailing with it. He's got a long run, and he'll make it. 2 steps to the left of the right field foul line. And the third out, but the Chinooks give up 3 runs as we go to the bottom of the first. We'll give you the starting lineups when we come back. Well, the starting lineup for the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks, Mason Corbett. He will lead things off, batting second, Jess Davis. As of right now, though, I'm not sure what happened with Sam Thompson behind the plate, the catcher getting looked at on the right side of your screen. I don't know if a ball bounced in the dirt right before that, but he's got his hands on his head. A little confused there, and might see if we can get the trainer out there. Sam had the 2-run single to right field, but I'm not really sure what just happened. He does not look okay. The rest of the lineup right now, J. Paul Fullerton, the 3-hole catcher, Ethan English at first base batting fourth, the 5-hole Hayden Keller in left field, Daniel Freeman, the designated hitter, hits sixth, 7-hole Joe Brazil at third base, the 8-hole is Dylan Gardner at second base, and Pate Fullerton, the shortstop, will clean up the lineup. Hope Sam Thompson is okay. Miners definitely need him going forward. He's getting hot offensively at the right time. Coach Groth coming over here to check on him as well. Not sure what exactly occurred. So we will pause here for a moment and be back as Nolan Monahan waits on the mound. Well, it looks like Sam Thompson's okay. He took one right off the neck trying to block a ball. I didn't actually see it. Why? Did you see it?
I didn't see it either, but according to the people next door, he turned his head a little bit and tried to block up a ball, and it caught him around the ear. So
And that's dangerous, especially with the equipment that he's using, because he's not using an actual,
not using a hockey-style mask.
hockey-style mask, one of those old-school masks, I guess you could say. And the first pitch here to Corbett, strike one down the middle. As for Monahan, though, he is coming out of Austin Peay State as a junior this fall. 6'1" left-hander on the mound, 0-1 record, 4.67 ERA, making his second start in 8 appearances. And this one poked foul. 1 save, 17 and a third innings on the mound, 13 strikeouts, 5 walks, 16 hits. He does have that one loss against the Chinooks. That was back on July 18th. 9-4 victory for the Chinooks. He pitched 2 innings, 4 runs given up, and 3 hits. Curveball misses the top of the zone, ball 1. Also had 2 walks in that appearance, 1 strikeout in the 12 batters he faced. Only one of his runs was actually earned, though. Pokes one right to the shortstop, and Mason Corbett out on the line out. He'll actually laugh one off with Aaron Walters, his teammate at Texas A&M. Tried to poke it over his head, but instead Caden Hogan will grab it for the line out. Chinooks trailing 3-0 here in the first inning, the bottom half of the inning. Chinooks gave up 3 in the first, and Just Davis, the 2-hole center fielder, up next. Lefty on lefty matchup again. First pitch poked foul and out of play.
And that foul ball sponsored exclusively by Edward Jones Financial Investments and Jeff Incroll.
Davis this season leads the team for the Chinooks with a 2.70 average, 38 hits and 141 at bats. Most hits on the team. That pitch will paint the outer edge. Strike 2, 0-2 count, 1 out here, bottom of the first inning. Wind picking up slightly to center field. As in the background, you can see a few bodies climbing the little hill that works up to the left side. Pops it up on the infield. Shallow center. Caden Hogan trying to make the first 2 outs here. Hesitates for a second. Will back up 2 steps and make the grab. Might have gotten it lost in the sky, but brings up the left-handed hitting catcher, J. Paul Fullerton, on a line out and pop out to shortstop to open us up here in the first.
Batting for the Chinooks, number 23, J. Paul Fullerton.
J. Paul Fullerton is second year down here in the ABL, one of 4 guys on the team. Michael Barker, Sam Brace. Got to mention Dalton Smith as well, as that one's poked foul and out of play.
Hannes Kindreich.
Hannes Kindreich, yeah.
And that foul ball sponsored exclusively by Edward Jones Financial Investments and Robert Amundsen.
So no 1 count, 2 outs here. Many host families who have hosted the Chinooks are out here in attendance today at Lee Jordan Field. Last time Chinooks will play here this season. Pretty good crowd. On the season closer, 0-2 count as Monahan works in strike 2, top of the zone.
You know, this little ballpark in small town Alaska is, I think, probably my favorite ballpark I've ever been to after this summer. There's an incredible community up here that really cares about this team.
Oh, man, and, you know, you can't go anywhere without seeing a sign for the Chinooks or a billboard that has something about the Chinooks plastered on it. Right side, Cody Huff will take the 3-hopper, throw to first, and a 3-up, 3-down inning gets the Chinooks. We go to the top of the second, 3-0 lead when we come back. Zach Sundine back out for the second inning as it's a 3-0 lead. The Miners ahead of the Chinooks, and Troy Hervey joining us again, and he's joining us for the first time this season. I think it's his 5th appearance, but first time as the pitchers for the Chinooks are on defense, as this one's fielded by Pate Fullerton. He throws it over to third base for out number 1. Great to have you out, though, again in this final day. What can you say looking back on the season? Let's talk pitching first on how these pitchers have done.
I mean, we've had our ups and downs, but for the most part, our starters have performed really well. Our struggle was a little bit towards the tail end of games. We did some experimenting with Tyler O'Clair in the back end, and he performed well for us, but with Trevor McGee leaving, he had to step up and start again. So, I mean, back end's been up and down, but, I mean, guys, you can't tell when they step on the mound. You know, they're out there, they're ready to compete. They want to compete. They want to do everything they can for this club. And, you know, obviously things didn't play out exactly the way we wanted, but, you know, I'm proud of the way that guys kept battling. They wanted their name called. They wanted to be out there. No one was afraid of the moment. And when guys are struggling, it's easy to shy away from wanting to be on the mound, but everyone still wanted to go out there and play.
Chop to the left side, backhand for Fullerton, and it'll be a base hit, as that was going to be an impossible throw over there to first base.
Yeah, we say that, but look what he's done all season.
That's
right?
true. That one a little bit,
Yeah.
it was hit so slowly that that one, if it gets past Joe Brazil, there's no way for Pate Fullerton to get that one over. Not with the speed of the leadoff of Kobe Bull, where he was thrown out, stealing second base, excuse me. I mentioned stealing first base.
No.
Now you can actually do that in some leagues, but I'm
talk
not a
about
fan of
that.
it. I'm not a fan of it by any means. Kobe Bulwer reaching a second time, reached by walk in the first before he was caught stealing. That pitch is strike 1 on the outer edge. What can you say about Sonny D and how he's performed this season?
He's been very consistent for us. I think he's only had really one bad outing. It was kind of midsummer. He was definitely fatigued at that time. He mentioned to me, you know, he could just feel it in his body a little bit. He was tired, and you know that's going to happen, especially for a guy coming out here who started for his ball club back home and then comes here and immediately just jumps on that train. You're going to run into a wall, you know. But he did a great job responding from that, and you know, kind of regaining focus, getting back on track, and providing us with some quality starts after that.
Right now, Cody Huff, who reached by hit by pitch in the first, scored the first run on an error from Fullerton trying to backpick him at third. And he is up a second time. Fastball runs all the way to the back. It'll be a pass ball and moves Bulware up to second here with 1 out. That one tailing far out, and not sure if Jay Paul was expecting curveball there, but fastball.
Yeah, it looks like got away from him a little bit. He really dropping his arm slot right now. I think he might be actually a little tired right now. Not because of his pitch count today, but just kind of his pitch count throughout the entire summer. He's thrown a lot of innings for us, and I mean, if you watch right now, you can tell his arm slot's not where it normally is. He's definitely a little bit lower, and that's going to cause some balls to go up and out of the zone a little bit.
Runner goes, and J. Paul Fullerton ready to throw him out, but instead it's fouled out of play by Huff. 1-2 count, 1 out. Dylan Gardner at second base trying to work with Bulware out at second. Try and keep him close. That time couldn't do so. Bulware got a great jump and likely would have had that base stolen. No fear from that guy out there after getting thrown out, trying to steal second the first time. He thought he was safe. It was definitely a close play.
It was a bang-bang play towards the back end of the bag. We didn't really have a good view from our dugout, but the umpire called him out, so that's how it goes, you know. Ooh.
And the strikeout here as the curveball paints the outer edge. Cody Huff will go down looking for Sundine's first strikeout of the game. That is his 38th this season. Leads the team with 38 strikeouts. And he's pitched 44 innings now with the 2 outs here in the top of the second. Trying to strand Kobe Bulware, who reached by an infield single to Pate Fullerton. Well, Troy, you get to hang out with us for another half inning, don't you?
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, last game of the season, so I'm off chart duty today. I just said, hey, I'm not keeping a chart today. We're just going to have some fun with it. So figured I'd join you guys for a full inning for the first time.
Well, we are glad to have you. It's a 1-0 count, 2 outs here. Gardner trying to go in the back door there to get a pickoff to get Bulware. Instead, Sundine will just step off. Well, Troy, what are, I ask you this all the time, but looking back, full season played, as that's strike 1 on a big swing to Eric Webb. What can you say you're going to take with you moving back to back home and stuff?
Well, I mean, I've definitely learned a lot from Coach Beck, he's kind of taken me under his wing, and I'm just watching him interact with the pitching staff and teach the pitching staff some things and just some pointers that he's given those guys. I'm going to be able to take back some simple things that I've never heard or learned in my years in baseball. And I mean, it kind of just goes to show me like you're never done learning, and that's something that I've known. But this summer has really taught me that as far as the baseball side of things. And I mean, the biggest thing is definitely my spiritual growth and how much closer I've gotten with God and the Lord this summer, and been able to do that because of where I've been able to go with baseball and be able to see that all come together this summer has been absolutely amazing. I can't wait to get back and and share what I've been able to do this summer with my players back there and even the coaching staff and my peers back at Frostburg.
Boulware trying to extend his lead here. Sundyne will work in strike two on the outer edge. A full count, 2 outs. And, well, Sundyne, he's got such a fluid motion with the fastball. This kid's a veteran pitcher, senior at MSU Denver. Really has led this team so well all season.
Yeah, he's done a great job. He does a good job of mixing speeds, mixing location, and when he's on, he's on. And, I mean, he's not going to overpower you, but he gets swing and misses on fastballs with guys being late because he's got that good off-speed pitch that when he starts featuring that, it's hard to time up that fastball. And he doesn't get a significant amount of run for a lefty, but he's really good at spotting up in and out and just changing eye level. And as the season's gone on, him and J. Paul, their relationship as pitcher and catcher has gotten a lot better, and I think that's improved Zach's game out on the mound. The trust has always been there. J. Paul's a dog behind the plate. He blocks everything, but understanding his pitch is better.
Throw to third. It's going to be thrown by. They're going to try and advance Boulware home on the air from Fullerton, and he will. And tried to go with third base. That was the only play he was going to have. Slow roller from Tanner Carlson, and he will reach by the single. But all the same, tried to go with the fielder's choice there and just threw it a little low to Joe Brazil. Bounced in front of him. Goes wide all the way to the backstop on the left side behind home plate here. And unfortunately brings in a fourth run, all with 2 outs here. Now it's a 4-0 lead in the top of the second as Boulware scores for the first time today. Eric Webb moves over to third base. Still 2 outs, though, so just trying to get one more here for Justin Kirby, who reached by hit by pitch and scored a run, the third run in the first inning. Strike one down the middle as Carlson reaches to first.
So let me ask you something, all right?
Sure,
so
why not?
You usually love asking the questions. Let me switch it up on you.
Sure, why not?
What is your highlight from this summer? What are you going to be able to take away?
There are so many highlights for me this summer as that's going to just miss off the plate. I think that the relationships I've built here this summer with Wyatt, as well as all the guys that I've gotten to know you pretty well. And then my roommate who actually went home a little bit earlier last week, Jack D'Amelio, like my best friend. And runner will go to second on a delayed steal. Runner's going to go home. It's bobbled from Gardner. He'll flip it to second. The tag applied. He's safe. And another run comes in. It's a 5-0 lead. And that's going to go as an error, unfortunately, against Gardner. And the third error in 2 innings for the Chinooks. But as I was saying, I've gotten to experience so many different things. Got to catch a 90-pound halibut. I know that one kind of eats you up a little bit, Troy Big Fisher. But I've gotten to experience so many. In Alaska, you see so much of God's creation.
Oh, yeah.
That you can't go anywhere without knowing that there's a creator. If there's anyone who, as the Chinooks are a Christian-based team, if there's anyone out there who is listening to this broadcast and you may not have a relationship with Christ, come up to Alaska or just look around, go outside, and you'll see God's creation, no doubt. Strike two on the inner half, 3-2 count, 2 outs. Chinooks looking for one more here with Carlson out at second base and Justin Kirby at the plate. But, spiritually, I was looking for the word. As that's lined off the glove of Joe Brazil into left field. It'll be an RBI base hit for Justin Kirby, and it's a 6-0 lead now for the Miners. But spiritually, playing for an audience of one, since I'll go back, and I haven't played baseball in 2 years at Ouachita Baptist University, and I've made the team get to go back and play again for 2 more years. I'm pretty excited to take my faith and apply it in baseball, take what I've learned here and grow, keep the three things that are eternal, keep that eternal mindset of God, His Word, and the souls of men. And when you think about those things, baseball doesn't seem so important anymore. It's just a game.
Yep.
And that's pretty special to me. That's the biggest thing I've learned. Is right now it's a 6-0 lead, 2 outs here, 3 more runs put up in the second, and that pitch just a little inside here to Aaron Walters, who drew a walk, loaded up the bases in the first inning. Carlson coming in to score on the RBI single from Justin Kirby. Pops it up on the left side. It's out of play. Kirby got a real hold of that one, turned on it on the inside fastball. It tipped right off the top of Joe Brazil's glove at third base, and unfortunately has put the Chinooks in a 6-0 hole here in the top of the second. All with 2 outs in this inning.
Yeah, this is really the first time all season, actually, we've been in a deficit like this so early on. Just going to make that play.
Pop up to left, and Hayden Keller will come in and grab it. It is a 6-0 lead. We will pause for a moment, be back in about 45 seconds for the bottom of the second inning. 6-0 lead for the Miners. Ethan English will take off the plate, ball 1 here from the left-hander of Monahan. Nolan 3 straight outs in the first inning, and the Chinooks gave up 3 more in the top half of this inning. It's a 6-0 lead. Chinooks trying to get a couple back here as that's up and in. Little chin music for Ethan English. English, Keller, Freeman, 3 batters up. First baseman, left fielder, designated hitter in that order. And English, he swings hard for sure.
Yeah.
Anytime he's up there. And he'll work a 3-0 count. But you like Ethan's swing. He's basically, I don't want to say he's an all-or-nothing guy. He struggled many times in the strikeout scenario, but, he's come up in some big spots for the Chinooks this season, some big hits.
Yeah, he's definitely a guy that's learning breaking balls and recognizing them. We've seen him swing early in counts at pitches in the dirt, and, it's something that I've tried to tell him all season. Like, look, it doesn't matter if you're hitting first, ninth, or fourth.
He will sky one to the left side. It's the shortstop who will be called off by the left fielder, and Bulware will catch it for out number 1, brings up Hayden Keller, and just like that, he just missed that one.
Yeah, but like I was saying, it doesn't matter where he is in the order. He just steps in the box, and with that size and that appearance, he's going to get breaking balls early in the count. And when he begins to realize that and either lay off or see under one and really able to put a good swing on it, he's not going to get pitched any differently. So that's something that he's been working on mentally, and he's starting to pick up spin a little bit better as the season's gone on. But, my hope for him as he continues his collegiate career is that he understands how guys are going to pitch to him, just sheer appearance-wise. You're not going to get a first pitch fastball very often. And even in a 2-0 count, you may not get a fastball. So once he begins to really recognize and is able to hit off-speed pitches, his game is going to completely change for him.
Well, right now it's Hayden Keller up with a 2-0 count, 1 out, and this pitch will just miss low. 3-0 delivery awaiting. All the way back from Monahan to English, went from 3-0 to a 3-1 count, and then English popped out to left. But now Keller will try and reach. Lefty on lefty matchup, and the delivery. Straight down the middle. Strike one. And this guy's pretty special as well, coming out of Mendocino College. He's still looking for a place to play next year.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising to me. I mean, he's had a pretty good summer, off to a hot start, and I feel like every time I'm in here we end up talking about Hayden. But finds his way up every time I'm in the booth. But he's a great guy, and he works extremely hard. He's got a good feel for the outfield, and like I've said plenty of times, he's got good pop for his size, and he's got a really good arm in the outfield as well. So.
And this one fouled back our direction just to hang in there, get a piece of it. Freeman will trot over and grab it from the on-deck circle. Chinooks' first base coach is the assistant of Sam Potter. John Groth in his 8th season, and he's the third base coach today. Full count, 1 out. Hayden Keller looking to reach here, and he will take one for ball 4 off the plate. First base runner for the Chinooks brings up Freeman. Again, Chinooks don't need all 6 right now. They're just trying to get back in this ball game. Down by that.
Chip away. And Daniel Freeman's a guy that we've seen has, home run power. But when that gets in his head a little bit, you'll see that back shoulder start to dip on his swing, and he'll start to sky those pop-ups. But when he stays tall and stays through his swing, I mean, watch out.
He will get underneath one there, pop it up to Eric Webb in center. Did drop his back shoulder a little, and the catch made with 2 outs here. Keller stays put at first, brings up the third baseman, Joe Brazil. 2 flyouts for outs 1 and 2 in this inning.
I will say, Freeman, though, his defensive ability at first base is unbelievable, especially for his size and just kind of being a string bean of a guy. He has some ridiculously athletic movement over there, and he makes bad throws look really good. And he's gotten us some extra outs with the plays and the picks and just the footwork around the first base bag. And even on drop third strikes, the way he clears himself way off the base to make the catcher feel like they have plenty of room. And then just he understands how much time he has. And he has a tremendous feel for that position, and it's been impressive to watch.
He also single-handedly has won a couple games for the Chinooks offensively.
Yeah.
His ability when he gets on base to just find ways to advance is second to none of any baseball player Wider Eye has ever seen. 3-0 count to Joe Brazil here as he's fallen behind. Dylan Gardner waits on deck for a lefty-on-lefty matchup. Can 2 walks put the Chinooks on first and second?
It's definitely impressive to watch him on the base pass because he'll be the first one to admit he's not fast. But he just finds ways, and he picks up timings on pitchers extremely quickly, and he'll just hop all over it. I mean, we've seen him steal second and third, and just seen him advance on – even when the ball's hit in play, he's just aggressive on the base pass. He knows his strengths, and he knows when and he cannot advance, but he's willing to take that risk too. And you can see it with him when he's on first base. He's ready to go, and it's awesome to see. And
9 times out of 10, it works out in his favor.
Yeah.
I don't think there's been a time this season where we were like, oh, why did he do that?
Oh,
it actually worked out in his favor. He's stolen third base multiple times when the pitcher's still on the rubber.
Oh, yeah. Just going, and I mean, it's cool to see, and it seems to always work out for him.
First pitch here misses low to the Oklahoma State Cowboy. As Dylan Gardner, 130 hitter this season, has had his struggles, but he's trying to get back on track. And can he use this game to do so? Maybe pick up an RBI base hit here as he takes strike 1 down the middle. 1-1 count, 2 outs, 6-0 lead for the Miners. They've got a little action in the bullpen, but it looks like all those guys are just trying to put on sweatshirts. I guess it's getting a little bit chillier.
Yeah, the sun's kind of disappearing right now, but hey, it's Alaska, right?
Catcher sets up inside, bounces in the dirt. Good back pick on the scoop, showing off the leather there for Sam Thompson.
I'll tell you what, Dylan Gardner has some power. He has some pop, and he's shown that in BP, and right now the wind is blowing in his favor, so if he can get a hold of one here, who knows? The ball has flown out of Lee Jordan pretty well this summer.
Pokes one down the left field line, ties the count at 2-2. Yeah, Dylan is that guy who's been coming off of injury this past season. Played in a lot of games, though, early on in the season, was the starter at Oklahoma State, and then got hurt, had to take a back seat to that. Did actually make an appearance as a base runner. As that's strike 3 down the middle, Chinooks will strand 2 as Gardner takes off the plate. And Pate Fullerton will have to wait his turn for the third inning. We go to the bottom of the second. Troy, final remarks for your last time on the air as a Chinook?
It's been awesome, and thank you to everyone listening. Thank you to everyone that's supported myself and anyone that's listening that supported anyone in the Chinook organization, from players to coaches, just donations, whatever you've done to help this thing come together. It's an unbelievable experience, and not just for the players, but for the coaches and the community of Eagle River and Chugiak. I mean, it's unreal out here, the support we get. So just thank you to everyone that supported the Chinooks.
Well, thank you, Troy, for being with us, and I cannot agree more. We will go to the top of the third. It's a 6-0 lead as Sundyne and the defense comes back out. Ground ball, third base line foul, as the first pitch is from Zach Sundyne here to the left-hander. Zach Sundyne, big smile on his face. It's Sam Thompson at the plate, and he had the RBI two-run single in the first inning. And Trevor, it's good to be on with you. Trevor Cho joining the broadcast team today. And Cho, can you talk a little bit about your experience with AIA these past few seasons, what you've done, and then playing up here in Alaska?
Yeah, so I guess my story with AAA runs pretty deep. After my freshman year in college, I was able to go to the Ultimate Training Camp, which is a camp run by AIA. I was able to do that in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Hit down the left field line. It's going to be extra bases as it stays in fair. It's going to be a double, and Sam Thompson, these last few games, has really turned things up as Sam will pick up his second double of the season against the Chinooks. And for Thompson, that's his fourth overall. Go ahead, Tro.
Yeah, so at that camp, it was just kind of a combination of blending my faith with sports, and that was the first time I was able to come to that concept, really. And then the last 2 summers, I was fortunate enough to spend my time in Rochester, New York, doing the same thing that we do here in Alaska. Just 2 months of AAA baseball in the New York Collegiate League. And then, yeah, this summer here in Alaska, this summer has been a blast. I've done things that I probably won't ever get to do again. I flew a plane. I caught some fish. Just hung around a great group of guys like Josh and Wyatt here. Shout out to you guys. Thanks for all the work that you've done this summer. Yeah, and just be around some amazing baseball and playing between mountains here at Lee Jordan Field and all the other stadiums. So, yeah, it was just a total blessing coming here and being a part of this for sure.
Well, it's been fun getting to know you. Thank you so much for all that you've done and all that I've gotten to learn from you. I know Wyatt would say the same thing if he was on the air right now. And Wyatt's still right next to us in the booth here. We only have 2 headsets, but he's doing Point Streak to keep you all updated on online with the stats. And Wyatt does a phenomenal job for us. He has all season. He's implemented replay for us, first time in the ABL for any team. And the next pitch here is fouled back for a 1-2 count continual here to Matt Palmer as Sam Thompson had the leadoff double down the left field line off of Zach Sundyne. Well, Cho, you're going to make it into this game in the 6th inning, am I right?
Yep, that's what it looks like. I'm coming in for Keller in the 6th.
Yep, and then I believe Patty McCormick will move over to second. Dylan Gardner will move to short, and Pate Fullerton will come out at the end of that, or at the beginning of the 6th inning. And so it's basically a scripted game for the Chinooks, but the Miners still have a lot to win in this one to host out at Matsu. Don't want to have the Pilots the opportunity to host at Mulcahy, as both the Pilots and the Bucks would have to host the playoffs, and they'd have to correspond with that.
Yep.
I was told that's never happened before. I don't
Oh,
know,
really?
I don't know how true that is, but that's just all I was told. But a 2-2 count, no outs here. Runner at second base in Thompson, and a 6-0 lead on 4 hits, 3 errors against the Chinooks. Thompson close to second, popped up and out of play just over the first base side. Joe, what are some of your favorite experiences? You mentioned that you've flown a plane with Ted Manola. Shout out to him.
Yeah, shout out Ted.
Incredible guy. Just an opportunity to. I mean, what guy goes out of his way to let the Chinooks fly planes? He's been doing it for years, though, and all the same, he flies it, but he lets the guy in the shotgun seat fly for a little bit as well. So I didn't get that opportunity, but you did. Poked into right field, base hit. Runners will be on first and third now as Corbett picks it up. But Joe, what are some of those memories that you're going to get to take forward with you?
Yeah, we were talking a little bit about it today with the guys, but when looking back at my other experiences, and I'm sure when in a month or two or later on when I'm looking back on this, I'm going to remember, just hanging out with the guys at the bingo hall. I mean, just in that week alone, I think I got stories for the rest of my life. That was quite the experience, and one that I don't want back, but want back at the same time. It was a unique experience, but yeah, flying the plane, that was definitely up there. I think I caught my first fish since a bluegill when I was about 4 years old with a piece of cheddar cheese on the hook, so that was cool to do some real fishing with my host dad. I think just playing in this league and going to all the ballparks and seeing their Hall of Fames and seeing names like Paul Goldschmidt, Josh Donaldson, Stephen Biscotti, just names like that. It's cool being a part of that history, and yeah, for sure.
Well, and you got to also play as that's driven to center, going back Jess Davis. This should be deep enough to bring in a run, and Davis will just get it into second. It's a 7-0 lead now for the Miners, but the double play is in order on the sac fly for Caden Hogan, and Kobe Bulware in 3 innings is around for a third time. But Joe, can you talk a little bit about your experiences these past few years and just how they compare to Alaska? Because you played with a few of the teams. You played with the New York team for AIA, right? And then did you play with the Ohio team as well?
No, I did 2 years.
New York 2 years.
Yeah, New York 2
Yeah,
years.
right.
So 17, 18, New York, and then here in 19 with Alaska. Yeah, I was actually just asked that in the dugout, where does this one rank with all my other AIA experiences? And I said, you just can't really rank them. It's weird because each experience, even though we're covering the same thing and playing the same amount of games, each experience has been completely different in good and bad ways. But I definitely think off the field and where you get to live, I definitely would rank Alaska up there.
Ground ball in the hole. Pate Fullerton slides over and will stop it. It's the third hit in the inning. And Kobe Bulware will reach a second time on a rollover that just gets under the glove of Joe Brazil. I think Joe, next time Kobe gets up, he's going to take 3 steps to his left and just expect for it to happen. The double play still in order for Cody Huff. He has reached once, scored a run in the first inning on a hit by pitch, struck out looking in the second. 1 strikeout for Zach Sundine so far. Only Miner has struck out today. And the first pitch to him is well inside ball 1. Well, Joe, what's it like playing for Coach Groth down here in Alaska?
Yeah, Coach Groth is awesome. I mean, off the field, on the field, he's just really a role model and someone, that I can look up to. Just the way that he goes about his business and the way he's able to connect with us. In terms of just being on the field, it's awesome playing for him. You love playing for a guy like that. He has a good sense of humor, so it's funny trying to pick some of his one-liners like flip a dip. Last game of the year finally figured out what that was. That he says that on double plays, and I thought it was flip like DP, so I thought he was saying flip a dip, but it's actually flip and dip. So yeah, our van was talking about that, and we finally figured it out with the last game left of the season. But yeah, really, really good communication.
Fullerton to second, Dylan Gardner to first, the throw, and he's off the bag. Brought him off a little as it was a late slide in from Bulware. brought Dylan Gardner off the bag. It'll be just a fielder's choice. And so the fielder's choice out. Still a 7-0 lead for the Miners. They put up one more here in the third, 3 in the second, 3 in the first. And the leader in hits this season, Eric Webb, is up next. He has 48 hits. 49 hits this season. Ball will get by, and Palmer not advancing. Couldn't find it, and so that'll be runners on second and third. Palmer just holding up his hands, and right now, you know, if he realizes it's by him, you got to go. But
Yep.
It doesn't matter what the score is. Right now, it's 7-0 in 3 innings, and runner will move up on the wild pitch. This pitch is inside, a 2-0 count. And Sonny a little off today. You know, we haven't seen him. Troy was talking about it earlier that he's just pretty tired, I think. That ball is smashed to left center field. It's going to fall in right in front of the wall. That's going to be a 50th hit for Eric Webb. He's trying to stretch it to 3. The throw's going to be to third. Is he going to be out? No, it's high. Joe Brazil making the grab, but Eric Webb with a 2-run triple.
Yeah,
for
this
his
ballpark's
50th
designed
hit.
for triples. I'll tell you that, Josh. If you
Yeah.
get into one of those gaps, you're going to be on 3.
You are not wrong. The Bucks the other night, no, the Pilots, the other night had a 4-run 9th inning to come back and beat the Chinooks, and they had 3 triples in that inning.
Yep.
And
I remember, Josh.
yeah. You were in left field for that game.
I was, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I think 2 of the triples came my way towards left field.
smash to left center.
Oh.
Jess Davis going back, and it's going to fall in as well. And so it's going to be a stand-up double here and a 10-0 lead now for the Miners. They are just breaking open the ball game. A 10-0 lead, 4 runs here in this inning, and Chris Beck is out as we're likely bringing in Brian Cardone. We will pause for a moment, be back in a sec after the pitching change. Curveball first pitch here to Tanner Carlson. Excuse me, Justin Kirby. Tanner Carlson, I think, was pinch hit for. And we must have just missed it or maybe he just got pinch ran for. We didn't see it. He is no longer out at second base. And instead, Brian Cardone comes in here to relieve Sundine. 2 outs. Top of the third. 4 runs already given up. It's a 10-0 lead for the Miners. And outrunning is Tyler Porter at second base. Ground ball up the middle. Base hit. Jess Davis is going to come in. David Dennis will wave him around. The throw will be home.
Oh, get him, get him.
It's not cut off, and no, safely sliding in. Davis held up for half a second before throwing. It was going to be close. Great throw, but the RBI single for Justin Kirby, and he's got 2 of them now in back-to-back at-bats. Tanner Carlson, who had the RBI double to left field, was pinch ran for by Porter, and Porter came in to score. Excuse me, and so we've got 2 outs. Still 5 runs now. It's 11-0 lead for the Miners. Left-hander steps in, and the first pitch to Aaron Walters runs low. Walk and a fly out to left that ended the second inning. Currently at the plate, 9 hits for the Miners in 3 innings. They have definitely come to life. They want to win this game to the best of their ability, and they put themselves in a good position to do so as Aaron Walters chases one high, swings right through it.
So, Josh, I got a question for you.
Man, you turned right into Troy there because Troy asked me. Troy said the same thing. You know, you ask all the questions. I'll ask you a question.
All right.
Go for it.
Has the little stand here that holds the camera up, has that ever been hit?
Oh, man. So I'm sure our daily viewers who watch the game, they know how many times the camera has been moved just by the screen getting hit in front of us. The fence right in front gets hit, and because the camera is looking right through the fence as close as we can put it, as soon as a foul ball hits it, it moves the camera. So they kind of get a little bit of motion sickness when we have to move it. But, yeah, it has been hit quite a few times. So it has come very close to actually hitting it directly. 2 games ago, poked foul out of play. 2-2
All right,
count,
I don't want to
2
jinx
outs.
it. Knock on wood.
5 runs here in the third, 3 in the first and second have made it an 11-0 lead. And 1 sub already in is Tyler Porter. They're going to give Tanner Carlson the rest. He's been playing third base these last few games, has not had a rest at all, and his bat's been on fire as of late. And so the Miners pretty excited to have him going, and looks like right now, even though there's a ton of games, ton of game left to play in this one, as that pitch just misses a little low. Full count will send the runner Justin Kirby in motion. Miners are on track to be hosting and knock the Pilots down to third place. So
Hey,
the
don't
Pilots,
call it a comeback. Do not call it a comeback.
I'm not calling it right now, but that pitch will miss low. A walk will bring back up Sam Thompson, who led off the inning with a double. And so coming back around for a third time here in the third inning now, for the second time in his third at bat. Chinooks not planning on throwing everybody, but right now it's been a pitcher an inning basically. As Zach Sundine pitched the second and out in the first as well. Jackson Beck began the game, and now Brian Cardone is trying to finish things here. He's given up 1 hit since coming in and 1 walk. Cardone out of Trinity University. Curveball misses low. Good block from J. Paul Fullerton. Sam Thompson out of Kent State University, a freshman. Bremen, Georgia native, 6'1", 185 right-handed hitter. Well, Cho's coming out of Wisconsin Whitewaters. That's strike 1 on the outer edge. But what are you hoping to take back with you to school going into your senior year?
Man, there's a lot that I want to take back. I think what I want to take back mostly lies on the off-the-field stuff. Like you said, it's my last year, so what I really want to do is just make sure that I'm going out the right way, leave and really have no regrets in my last year in school, in undergrad at least, and make sure that I build the guys up the right way and maybe create some sustainability for the future within that team and make sure that there's guys that are willing to be leaders. So I think that's what I'm looking forward to most.
Base hit to left, and it's going to be fielded by Keller. They're just going station to station right now with the 11-0 lead. Curveball tried to get him on the strike, and instead Thompson with his second hit in the inning, and he's 3 for 3 today, a 2-run single in the first, a double, and scored a run here in the third, and now a single as well here in the third inning, continuing. And that brings up Matt Palmer, who just slapped one into right field in his last at-bat, scored a run, the second in the inning. Ground ball to third. Brazil will field it and step on third base for the third out. Chinooks give up 5 in the third, and the ground out from Palmer will end it as we go to the bottom of the third inning, and the Chinooks will have up 9-1-2 of Fullerton, Corbett, Davis. Any final remarks for you, Trevor?
No, I don't think so. Just thanks Wyatt and Josh for all you did this summer. I'm glad to be a part of it for one half inning. Yeah, just overall thank you guys for what you did. Appreciate it.
For sure. Thank you so much, Joe. When we come back, again, Pate Fullerton to lead things off. Chinooks down 11-0. First pitch to Pate Fullerton is going to be chopped foul. First base side, and one of the minors comes out to grab it. That was Blake Payton, the freshman at the University of Arizona. Pops it up, and it'll be on the left side. Will it get out of play? Yes, it will. Just barely. And may have actually hit a fan. I think they're okay, though. So we got an 0-2 count, no outs here. Corbett on deck with the top of the order coming back around a second time. 5 runs put up by the Miners in the top half of this inning. They're leading 11-0 here.
You know, the score may not be exactly what we want for today, but it's nice to get a bunch of interviews in and get to hear from some of the Chinooks for the season and just hear their thoughts, even if this game isn't ideal. But we do have a bunch of interviews scheduled. I think we're booked up until the 8th inning after this.
Yeah,
so.
Got a lot to do it. Wyatt and I will be rotating through those. Curveball, swing and a miss for strike 3 to get Pate Fullerton. Out number 1 here in the 4th. Back-to-back Ks from Monahan. He's looked pretty good today, giving up 2 walks last inning. Apart from that, no other base runners. Corbett lined out to shortstop in the first inning. And he'll try and reach here. 11 hits, 11 runs in 3 innings for the Miners. As that one's poked on the left side of play, out of play. Cody Huff moves over to third base at the beginning of this inning. Tanner Carlson comes out as Tyler Porter pinch ran for him. Came in and scored a run last inning. The final run of last inning. Curveball, strike 2. Majority of the runs in this game, though, over half of the runs in the 11-0 ball game, I believe have not been earned. Wyatt, correct me if I'm wrong there. For sure, at least a third of them have not, as that's fastball missing high, ball 1.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look, but I think it's about half that have been earned.
About half, yeah. 3 errors for the Chinooks. Next pitch from Monahan, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Chased it high, and so that'll bring up Jess Davis, the center fielder who flew out to shortstop back in the first inning for out number 2. Back-to-back Ks started off against Fullerton and Corbett, brings up Jess Davis.
Coming to the plate for your Chinooks, number 22, Jess Davis.
And Mason, offensively been a huge product for the Chinooks. Has seen his average fluctuate a little bit, very slightly these past few games, but I mean, he's been on fire as that one's fouled out of play. Jess Davis leading the team in hits and average. 38 hits, 270 average. He's 0 for 1 today. 0-1 pitch. Fastball high. Monahan a little zip behind the fastball. Probably right at 90, maybe 88 consistently. Brian Cardone will come back out for another inning, is what it looks like. Popped it up. Just going to get out of play as well. Patty McCormick, he'll play second base today in the 6th inning. He comes over to give Marcus Dolan, the home plate umpire, some new baseballs. Chinooks still looking for their first hit today. Can Jess Davis get things going here with 2 outs? Catcher sets up inside. The delivery up and in, ball 2 for a 2-2 count. Twos across the board, 2 outs. Curveball, just going to get a piece of it as it goes foul back. And J. Paul Fullerton, UAB Blazer, will have to trot over and grab it. Teammates with Jess Davis, as well as Pate Fullerton, his brother, will come and play next year at UAB, the University of Alabama at Birmingham, in the fall, with his brother for one final season. Curveball up and in. That'll tie the count. 2-2, 2 outs. Or excuse me, full count, 2 outs. Davis trying to reach, maybe draw a third walk from Monahan. The delivery, it's going to be way out, and it'll be the first base runner in the 3rd inning here for J. Paul Fullerton. That is Jess Davis's 22nd walk this season. He has got the 4th most on the team. Pate Fullerton has 25, and leading the entire league with 31 is Mason Corbett. Hayden Keller with 23, and then now Davis with his 22nd of the season. Keller actually drew one an inning ago for his 24th. And the first pitch, lower third of the strike zone, strike 1. Good fastball from Monahan. That pitch is a little bit further out, though. Ties the count 1-1, 2 outs. Again, Chinooks trying to get their first hit here. Break up the no-no in 3 innings. Bottom third, 11-0 Miners lead. Runner goes. The throw down to second. Jess Davis with a stolen base. Got an incredible jump. And for Jess, that is his 19th stolen base this season. He's only been caught 5 times. So he puts himself in scoring position. Chinooks would like to squeak a run across as the fastball missed away. 2-1 count. Base hit from Fullerton. As that's smashed down the right field line. It's got a chance. It'll be hooking foul, though, and bounce right off of the rubber on the left side of the mound for the bullpen. Jess Davis was looking for a second stolen base. And although you're down 11-0, you're trying to put yourself in scoring position, climb back in this one. Every run matters. Curveball upstairs, full count ensuing. Ethan English on deck, flew out to left field. Skied one to open up the second inning. Delivery home. Taken off the plate, ball 4. Third walk in the inning. Second walk in the inning. Matches the 2 strikeouts. And just like that, runners on first and second for the 4-hole Ethan English. Base hit brings in 1. And would give the Chinooks their first run of the ball game. First pitch here to English. Smash third base line, foul. Hooks right towards the bullpen of the Chinooks. Monahan coming set here, the 0-1 delivery. And it's a back pick to first. Thrown high. Walters will hop up as J. Paul Fullerton slides in feet first to first base. He's just got a big smile on his face there. Not sure he was expecting it, but Sam Thompson was trying to end the inning. 1-1 delivery home. Pops it up, right side, out of play.
And that foul ball sponsored exclusively by Edward Jones Financial Investments and Gavin Reeve in Eagle River.
1-2 count, 2 outs awaiting. Catcher setting up away. The delivery home. Big swing and a miss, strike 3. All 3 outs come via the strikeout against Monahan. And we will go to the top of the 4th. Miners trying to add to their 11-run lead. Back and ready to go. Brian Cardone on the mound here. Top of the 4th inning, 11-0. Miners leading as the first pitch is swung on way out in front for strike 1 here to Caden Hogan. Caden Hogan, Kobe Bulware, Cody Huff, 3 batters up here. I am joined with Sam Potter, assistant coach for the Chinooks, coming out of Ecclesia College, and that one popped up right side. Long run, and J. Paul Fullerton underneath it will make the grab for out number 1 in foul territory. Sam, you've had an interesting experience up here in Alaska. Could you talk about all your experiences just coming up as a coach for your first time up here, as well as your first year coach at Ecclesia this past year?
Yeah, it's great to be up here in Alaska, especially being a first-year coach. Wasn't really expecting to get that kind of opportunity, but it's been great. I've learned a ton from the coaching staff here, from Coach Groth and Coach Beck. They've taught me a lot about the game as well as just about life, and I've really appreciated that. As far as Alaska goes in general, it's just been amazing to be up here. You see God's beauty all around you everywhere you look. Being able to explore on off days has been phenomenal. And watching some great baseball is always fun too.
Well, you're not wrong, and unfortunately the Chinooks behind in this one, 11-0, gave up 5 in the third, 3 in both the first and second, and a 2-0 count here to Bulware, who has been perfect today, a walk and 2 singles, and he'll poke 1 foul. Sam, what do you hope to take back with you home to Ecclesia from what you've learned up here?
I hope to be able to take back just a better knowledge of building relationships with my players, as well as just some of the in-game management. Coaching first base has been really good because I've gotten to be a little more locked into the game than if I might be just on the bench or something like that. Yeah,
it makes sense. And we play y'all from Ouachita Baptist University over to Ecclesia. We may actually come your way this year since y'all came down to us. So hopefully I'll get a chance to see you. That one popped up straight away to center. Jess Davis is tracking it, and he will make the grab for out number 2. 2 guys out in the inning, and it'll bring up Cody Huff up next, who's trying to reach a third time today. He reached by fielder's choice in the third, a strikeout in the second, then a hit by pitch in the first. And, what can you say as well about this team for the Chinooks, their resiliency and how they've done this season despite their struggles?
Despite the struggles, it's been a really good season. We've seen a lot of competitiveness from them. They never seem to bow out of a game.
Fielded by Fullerton. He'll throw it to first for a 6-3 out. I hated that I didn't get more time with you on the air, Sam, but are there any final remarks you have, any shout-outs you need to give?
Oh, yeah. I want to give a shout-out to Mark and Chris Davis, Jess Davis's parents. They came up and visited. I've gotten the opportunity to room with Jess this summer. He's a great dude. They've raised a great kid. And I'm about to show off that sprint speed over to first base for him this next inning.
Well, we will be looking for it as the Chinooks will head to the bottom of the 4th. 3-up, 3-down inning behind Brian Cardone. Thank you so much, Sam, for joining with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
We'll be back in a moment. You're listening to Chinooks Baseball on YouTube.com. Well, hello and welcome back. It's the bottom of the 4th, 11-0. And there goes Sam Potter. He's hustling over to first base. You can see those legs burning. Moving over to first, and pop time. Speed time, I should say. Not pop time. Speed time of probably 4 seconds. So good job, Sam, hustling over there. Hayden Keller to lead things off. And now we're joined by Michael Barker in his 2nd season down here in the ABL. And unfortunately, it's coming to a close here. Do you look to be back for a 3rd?
Maybe. We'll see. The decision to come up here for the 2nd summer wasn't made until around Christmas time. So we'll see what happens for this 3rd summer coming up.
Well, what is it like for this season getting to have Corbin come up, your younger brother who's going to play next year at UC Irvine, just graduated high school?
It was a really good experience. Coming up here, I knew that having a couple more years of college on top of him, I was going to have to teach him some things. Coming out of the bullpen was a new experience for him. He's always been a starter, so he's always in this mindset of that ball's hit well.
Yeah, pops up to right center field. It's a long run. It's going to fall in. Hayden Keller will have a leadoff double here for the first hit for the Chinooks, and they're on the board in the hit category.
Yeah, so Corbin was process-oriented, very long process to get ready, so teaching him to shorten it up and come out of the pen was kind of one of my things coming up with him. But outside of that, living with him with the host family, sharing a room with him, all that, it's a great experience. It brings back to being little kids again.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting to play with your brother up here, especially in a beautiful place like Alaska, and getting to do it for a second season in a row. That's pretty awesome for a summer.
Yeah.
Right now, Hayden Keller just let things off with a double to right field. This one popped up to Aaron Walters on the first base side, and he'll make the grab for out number one against Freeman, who has flown out twice now in his first two at-bats. Joe Brazil drew a walk back in the second. He is up next. Well, what are some things that you're going to take back with you home to Ridgecrest, California, from what you've learned this summer compared to last summer?
Just the friendships with the guys. Coming up here, I had expectations that the team was going to be just like it was last year, and I was very wrong about that. I mean, each team is different every year, and I guess I should have known that. I've played for a couple teams in a few years of college.
But hit to third base, but Huff couldn't handle it, and that's going to go as an error to put on Brazil. And the first error for the Miners today brings up Dylan Gardner, who struck out looking in the second, but he's up again with the same situation, only one less out. Can he produce a base hit, pick up an RBI, and bring in the first run for the Chinooks today? Go ahead, Michael.
Hopefully when I go back home, I can bring home some cooler weather. Talking to family back home, I hear it's pretty hot, and I'm not looking forward to that. So some cooler weather would be nice.
This one poked foul in the first pitch. Well, I mean, here in Alaska, it's been pretty warm all summer up until a few days ago. Been great weather. I mean, it was a record-breaking 90 degrees in Anchorage.
Oh, yeah, that was unexpected. When I came up here, I was telling my brother, bring some long sleeves and some pants because it's going to be cold. And then we got up here and it seemed like we never left home. So.
Yeah, no joke. And, coming from you from California, myself from Dallas, Texas, the warm weather just tends to follow us, I guess, because it's crazy coming up here and having that. Up and inside, the back pick to first, and the tag applied to get Joe Brazil. Great throw for Sam Thompson, and the Chinooks picked off against Joe Brazil. Second out now, as he'll have to head back to the dugout. Hayden Keller out at second base. We saw Thompson try and throw one back earlier, and just Joe Brazil getting too far of his secondary, gets the back pick. Walters right on it as well, and 2 outs now here in the bottom of the fourth. Chinooks with their leadoff on second, and this one popped up on the left side. This could do it. Cody Huff in foul territory by a step will make the grab. Chinooks go in order after the leadoff double for Hayden Keller, but Michael, any final words for you?
No, just want to shout out to my family back home in Ridgecrest and anybody from Taft College that's listening. Cougs up.
Cougs up. You heard it here from Michael Barker. Thank you so much for being on with us. We go to the top of the fifth, nearing the halfway mark, an 11-0 ball game. Back for the top of the fifth, 3-4-5 up. Eric Webb, Tanner Carlson, who is relieved by Tyler Porter now, and Justin Kirby. 3 batters to face Wynkoop. This one drilled down the left field line. Keller hustling over. He's going to pick it up, try and throw him out at second. The throw is to second. Will it be in time? No, the tag not applied for Gardner. Ball beat him there a little bit off the bag, and Eric Webb with his first double in the ball game had a triple in his last at bat. But we'll start things off here. He's reached every time a hit-by-pitch walk, 2-run triple, and then now leads the inning off with the 12th hit for the Miners on a double. Joined by Patty McCormick here. And Patty, the second baseman for the Chinooks, he'll get in the 6th inning. What can you say about your experience here in Alaska?
Well, it's just been beautiful up here. I'm thankful for the opportunity to play here with such great guys and such a great coaching staff. And it's just an honor to be able to experience God's creation up here.
And your mom is up here here in Alaska. What can you say about your time with her?
Oh, it's great. She's up here. We're flying home August 7th together, so we get to experience this beautiful state together. And her birthday is actually August 5th, so we'll get to spend it up here together in Alaska.
That's pretty awesome. And many of the Chinooks players have had their parents come up at some point to see Alaska for the first time. Mom's first time to see it?
It is my mom's first time.
This one poked in fair territory down the left field line. It'll fall in on a base hit. Webb's going to try and score, and he will. RBI single on a little bloop single from Tyler Porter that just happens to fall in, pick up an RBI, and the Miners lead 12-0. Well, Patty, you know, you were hands down one of the hardest working guys on this Chinooks team, and as the Chinooks got to share when you spoke earlier today as you're in the exit meetings basically and debriefing, what can you say about just how you've handled this summer and during the struggles of not necessarily for you but just for the Chinooks that they've had? What have you learned this summer?
I've learned a lot. Definitely how to be relentless in everything that we do. I've always been an undersized guy, and it's been part of my game to outwork everybody that I can, and it's just who I am as a person, and I feel like that's what our club has had to do this entire season, just scrap away and show that we belong, and no matter what anybody says, we're here to play, and we're here to just develop as ball players.
Well, although Patty says he is the smallest on the team, he has got 2 of his 11 hits have been doubles this season, and both came down the third base line. And you know, you work so hard, sometimes the game rewards you, and it's happened to do it a couple times this season. So keep working hard. And no outs here in the top of the 5th inning, a 12-0 lead. 2 hits to open it up from Webb, a double, then Porter, the bloop single opposite field. Justin Kirby at the plate, 2-1 count here against Wynkoop as he fouls that one back. And for Wynkoop, he comes out of Indiana Wesleyan University. Left-handed pitcher, 5'8", 190 sophomore out of Huber Heights, Ohio. 1-1 record, 6.61 ERA, 15th appearance, and final appearance as a Chinook. 16 and a third innings on the mound, 18 strikeouts, 20 walks, 20 hits given up. Patty, you like to fish, don't you?
I actually haven't been fishing at all.
You haven't been fishing?
I have not been fishing up
You're like
here
one
yet.
of the few Chinooks that has not been fishing. I feel like since the Chinooks are named after a fish, you got to go fishing at some point. Will you get a chance?
I hope I will with my mom. She hasn't been fishing up here yet. I've been on a lot of hikes up here, though, but I haven't been fishing yet.
Yeah, you and Troy have gotten to go on a lot of hikes together. Is there a 20-mile hike that you went on?
Yeah, that was definitely the hardest day of my life, and as Troy will tell you, the hardest day of his life. It was over 12 hours in Alaskan wilderness, and got back around 1:30 in the morning to the van, and we still had to drive all the way home. And by that time, it was pretty dark, and it doesn't get that dark here. So,
man, that is pretty scary to get back that early.
Oh yeah.
Though in the morning, was it still light outside? That's going to be strike 3 to get Kirby. Big looping curveball fell right off the table for out number 1 here in the inning. Gets Kirby looking, and it'll bring up Aaron Walters.
Yeah, it was not too light out. It was very dark and very scary. Saw a bear track. We saw wolverine, which is very rare to see up here, and thought we were gonna get stuck up on that mountain because we had no phone service and we couldn't get a hold of anybody. So
Well, we are definitely glad that you made it safely. This one right back up the middle. Fullerton flip to second. He'll step on second himself. Throw to first. It gets by. That'll be an error against Fullerton as Ethan English tried to stretch. And I'm not sure what just happened. English throws one right into the backside of Walters. Will get a dent in his rear blinker, but Ethan picked it up, and Walters was caught halfway between first and second, and Ethan didn't even see that he was there. That's the fourth error against the Chinooks now in the inning, and Walters will have a runner. Will move up to second now as Fullerton did get the out at second, stepping on it, but just couldn't make the throw over to first. Ethan English the stretch, and it gets by. Been a bit of a struggle this game for the Chinooks. They're down 12-0. Patty, anybody that you need to shout out here? Now's your chance.
Well, my mom's up here. Definitely my Aunt Rose, if she's watching. I know she's watched quite a few games here, and I just hope she's enjoyed watching me play from back home in Chicago. And I can't thank you enough for all your support, and I love you. And I thank all my supporters who helped me get up here. I wouldn't be here without you, and this has truly been an experience I'll never forget.
Yeah, very special for everybody just to have a chance to, thank those who paid so much money to get the Chinooks up. They're trying to raise money, thousands of dollars just to come up and spend a summer here. Curveball there falls in on the strike to the left-hander, and the left-hander pinch hitting right now is Colin Montez, the left-hander out of Washington State in his sophomore year, Marysville, Washington native. And Montez trying to reach here in a lefty-on-lefty matchup as he's pinch hitting for Sam Thompson. He will yank one over the glove of Ethan English down the right field line, and he's going to have a base hit. Holds it up to a single, but RBI single will bring in Aaron Walters for a second run in this inning. And just like that, both Porter as well, both Eric Webb as well as Walters have scored today. And if I'm not mistaken, Webb has actually scored 3 times today in the game and has 3 of the 13 runs himself. Matt Palmer up, smashes one to left center. Hayden Keller, long run back, he's underneath it, will make the grab. 2 runs given up, it's 13-0. Patty, any final remarks as a Chinook?
Let's go get them here, and don't count the Nooks out because I'll be heading in the game.
Well, that's from Patty. Thank you so much for being with us. It's 13-0. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning, over the halfway hump of the game when we come back. This one is going to be smashed to straightaway center on the first pitch off the bat of Pate Fullerton. And he will fly out to Eric Webb for out number 1 to open us up here in the 5th. Chinooks gave up 2 more runs in the top of the 5th. They are down 13-0 here against the Miners. And the leadoff, Mason Corbett, will take his 3rd at bat next as Fullerton flies out to center in his 2nd. And Davis will be the 3rd one up. That pitch will miss high as it'll be a 1-1 count. Couple of defensive changes. Cody Huff moves for the 2nd time in the game. Started the game at 2nd. He moved to 3rd, and now he's behind the plate as Sam Thompson came out of the game. Colin Montez is in left, and Kobe Bulware coming into second base. First pitch. So a 2-0 count here, trying to get in the first strike here, 1 out. And the delivery home, he will. It's grounded up the middle. And Bulware will throw one over to first. It bounces in front of Aaron Walters. Looked like a little lollipop. I think it must have just slipped out of his arm, out of his hand. And Just Davis up next after the ground out. So Corbett out for a 3rd time. We'll bring up Jess Davis. He's got a walk in the 3rd, stole 2nd. And he will try and walk or get a hit here. Chinooks have 1 hit. It was last inning. The leadoff of Hayden Keller hit a double. 2 outs now here in the 5th. And the next pitch. Strike 1, outer edge. Right-hander is warming in the bullpen for the Miners, as is Corbin Barker for the Chinooks. Strike 2, right down the middle. May have touched the outer 3rd. Tom Barnhouse warming up in the bullpen. Curveball chopped off the front of his foot, foul. And that'll be the continual of an 0-2 count here with 1 out. With 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Monahan's next pitch. Curveball chopped foul first base side. Goes wide right. There it is. White and I trying to get that together.
Easy
Ride
for you
white.
to say.
Ride white. That's what I said. No. Words are hard sometimes, people. Especially when you're a broadcaster. That's just sometimes how the cookie crumbles. Pokes it up in foul territory. Left side. Going over Tyler Porter. And this one will stay just out of foul territory as it hits right off of the fence and goes out of play. So Jess Davis still working with the 0-2 count. You know, Wyatt, when you go through 4 interviews, the most we've had in 4 innings, sometimes the words just get jumbled. And I may let you take the next inning of interviews. Give me a short break. This one smashed to right center. It's got a chance to fall in. Justin Kirby, the dive, he doesn't catch it. Jess Davis will have at least a double. He'll hold up there. Second hit for the Chinooks. Justin Kirby making a good attempt at it, but won't make the grab. Here in the 44th game of the season, and the final game for the Chinooks. Good hit for Jess Davis on the double to right center. Good effort from Kirby. That is Jess Davis's team-tying 9th double. He ties J. Paul Fullerton, who is up next. Boy, it'd be nice for the Chinooks to just get going here, and with 4 full innings left, 4 and a third innings left, try and come back in this one. Tom Barnhouse has since a moment ago just ceased throwing in the bullpen. Fastball, outer edge, misses. Ball 1. Thirteen 1 for the Miners, 0-2-4 for the Chinooks. This one fouled up and out of play. That is runs, hits, and errors in that order. Monahan has looked very good today. He's been all around the zone with the fastball. Kind of gets his curveball in there every once in a while if it doesn't miss up. A 1-1 pitch awaiting. Fastball Bottom of the zone, strike 2. Jay Paul, a .227 hitter, 30 hits this season and 132 at-bats. Today he is drawn a walk in the third and then grounded out to second in the first. The 1-2 delivery. Pokes it foul left side. Good pitch to Spoil. Robbie Brew, the bullpen catcher today, warming him up. Warming up Barnhouse. And I imagine for Monahan, this is his last inning. One-two count, one out. Monahan, a long pause. Will come set and deliver home. In the dirt, good block for Cody Huff. He also just graduated high school. As Huff just graduated from Horizon High School in Scottsdale, Arizona, a freshman to be at Stanford University. Swings and foul tips it all the way back to the screen. Sends Ethan English over to retrieve it with Patty McCormick, who we just interviewed, out to give Marcus Dolan, home plate umpire, some new baseballs. 4 new in the pouch, 2-2 count, 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the fifth, Chinooks down 13-0. 13-2 in the hit category. And ball 3 sails wide and high. Jess Davis out at second base. He had the two-out double. Fell right in front of the diving attempt from Justin Kirby. And the full count pitch. Second walk in a row for Fullerton brings up Ethan English. He's 0 for 2 today. Fly out to left and a strikeout swinging. Jeff Erlob, the pitching coach, coming out for a conversation with Monahan, trying to get him one more out. When we come back, he'll try and do so against Ethan English. English trying to bring in the first run for the Chinooks. Well, no surprise they're going to keep Monahan in there. He hasn't given up a run. He's only given up 2 hits, and both have been doubles to the left-handers of Hayden Keller and Jess Davis, who led off this inning. Smash third base side, and it'll be punched into left field. Jess Davis will come in. He's going to try and score, and he will. RBI single for Ethan English brings in the first run for the Chinooks. Smash third base side. Tyler Porter can't grab it. That ball was absolutely crushed by Ethan English, and it finds itself a hole.
Porter definitely wasn't ready for that one.
RBI single brings in Davis. And so the single there brings in Jess Davis for the first run of the ball game. Chinooks on the board, 13-1, down 12 here. Monahan will try and get Hayden Keller out now, and he'll take ball 1 upstairs. And I'm joined now by Tyler Winecoop. And Coop, you did a pretty good job out there.
Yeah, I did all right.
You did all right. Well, you threw a lot of strikes, and
that's a good change right there.
No, but Coop, what can you say about what you've learned up here in Alaska?
Oh, I mean, just facing this competition of hitters and this new strike zone, it's very different than the NAIA in the Midwest. Have to say that you gotta really bury your pitches, and you gotta really throw your pitches with conviction if you have 2 strikes or more on a batter, or they're gonna make you pay here.
Well, Tyler, what is some of the best experiences you've had up here in Alaska?
Honestly, just hanging out with the guys and just being around the baseball field and this amazing weather that we've been playing in all year. I mean, we had a big drought there, kind of, no rain, but other than that, the baseball's been great. I love fishing. Every off day I try to go out fishing. So.
How many fish have you caught, and what have you caught?
I've caught I think I caught 5 fish. Caught 1 red, Caught 1 silver and I caught 3 pinks.
Okay. Pretty good off day. Did you eat all of them?
No, I'm going to take some home. I'm going to take my silver home and my pinks home. I ate my red.
You ate the red. Was it good?
It was amazing.
Okay. Yeah. As you can tell in Tyler's voice, he absolutely loved that. Ball 1 is going to fall low to Daniel Freeman here. A 4-pitch walk to Hayden Keller has loaded the bases. And there are 2 outs as the coach is going to come out. There are definitely 2 outs. The scoreboard reads 1 right now. Just got it changed on the scoreboard as well. Marcus Dolan wants a conversation here with Brad Polk. The 2 outs that have come in are a ground ball from Mason Corbett to second base and then a fly out from Pate Fullerton that opened up the inning to center. And so we are keeping the official book. And there are 2 outs. So Tyler LeBrun, the head coach for the Miners, can rest easy after that one. A 1-0 count here to Daniel Freeman. Tyler, what can you take back with you that you've learned from discipleship this summer going back to Indiana Wesleyan?
Well,
Or no, you're going to be going to JUCO. Yeah,
yes,
that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, I forget
so
about that.
I can take a lot back there
You
now.
can take a lot back there.
I think, honestly, the sermon that Chris taught us, the Malachi teaching, where he was like, get off the fence. I think a lot of Christians these days are on the fence, like living a two-faced life. So hearing that message gives me great conviction to
Smashes one to deep left, but it is right on track with Colin Montez, who'll make the grab. Chinooks will strand the bases loaded, but Ethan English comes up big with an RBI single. They're on the board, 13-1. Anything else you'd like to say, Tyler?
I just want to say thank you guys for having a great season for the broadcast. I know my parents love it, so yeah, thank you, and had a great time here in Alaska. So this is Tyler Weinkoop signing off.
Well, thank you so much, Tyler. It's been a pleasure to have you on for a moment, and look forward to keeping up with you as you go back to junior college. Now coming into pitch is Corbin Barker, and he will relief Ty, and it's 13-1. When we come back, we go to the top of the 6th inning. 4 innings are left. You're listening to Chinooks Baseball. Well, we are back for the top of the 6th, 13-1. Miners lead the Chinooks currently. We just heard from Weinkoop. Now we get to hear from Brian Cardone. And Brian, thanks for joining us. It's going to be Caden Hogan, Kobe Bulware, Cody Huff, all to face Corbin Barker coming in. We heard from Michael earlier as well. Everybody's getting on the air today, but Brian coming out of Trinity University, and that's out in Texas. And what can you say about your experience up here in the ABL?
This has been incredibly eye-opening for me. I've played in a summer league out in California, and the competition was good, but the competition up here is incredible. I mean, I'm playing against guys that are going to the schools that I dreamt of going to, and to be able to come out and compete on the same field with them, at this point in my career is absolutely incredible and truly a blessing. Um, and it's been an incredible experience, no doubt.
Well, looking back at the summer, it's flown by. Do you remember you have any big memories that will definitely just stick with you?
Everyone talks about Kenai, Alaska. It's a pretty special place. The town, the people, but the experience I think our team gets staying at a bingo hall for a couple nights, and you really get close to the guys really quickly. I got really close to one of my fellow pitchers, Hannes Kendrick. Just long talks, and that's built into a brotherhood that's gonna probably last my lifetime. So Kenai's been a very special memory just because that's where that all got started.
Well, that is very special. I remember so many memories down in Kenai from staying up when we were doing laundry just to stay up. Laundry turned into a 4 or 5 hour ordeal.
Oh, that poor washer. Jeez.
Oh man, it's torched.
Me.
Yeah, at the bingo hall down there when the Chinooks played. I think it was like the second week down there that they had.
It was early.
Yeah,
it was
second
early.
week down there had to go down to Kenai and play the Peninsula Oilers and took 3 of 7. Won the first 3. Lost the next 4, and this one poked foul out of play from Kobe Bulware. 0-2 count he's dealing with. Caden Hogan struck out against Corbin Barker, came in, did a good job. And, Brian, as a pitcher with Corbin on this team, can you speak just for a moment to Corbin, who just graduated high school, and just how mature he is as that's poked into center for a base hit?
Man, when he first came in, I was really surprised. He had a system down that he liked to follow. And, us in the bullpen, we love to just rag on people just for fun. So we gave him a hard time for it. But he's really come into a role as a relief pitcher, which is a really tough transition for a lot of pitchers. He learned quickly. He learned on the fly. But he stuck to his system, man. He just adjusted it. And the dude is one of the most talented pitchers I've ever seen.
Could be a double play here as Gardner picks it up. Throw to first from Patty McCormick. Double play. And go ahead, Brian.
Well, he's just such a talented athlete, and you can see that when he pitches. For being so young, he's got such a level head, and he's going to go places, and I wish the best for him.
It's pretty exciting. He's going to be going to UC Irvine in the fall. Any final remarks for you, Brian, as the Chinooks get a double play to end the inning?
Well, it's just been an incredible summer. Thank you to you guys. I want to give a quick shout-out to my parents. I love them very much. Without them, I wouldn't be here. And shout out to all the sponsors that made this summer possible for me. But thank you very much for having me, Josh.
For sure. Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. And Tom Barnhouse will be back for the bottom of the 6th as he comes in for the Miners to pitch against the Chinooks, who will have up Joe Brazil, Dylan Gardner, and Pate Fullerton when we come back. Joe Brazil in to face Tom Barnhouse. First pitch, strike one, outer edge. As for Barnhouse, though, he is coming out of his junior year at Wichita State, Leavenworth, Kansas native. 6'3", 205, and he has worked two straight fastballs on the outer edge. And no interviews in this inning right now. It's Wyatt Wewell who is back on with me. And got to commend Wyatt for a great season. Everything that you've done from the broadcast standpoint, as that one's poked into center field, right at Eric Webb, who will make the grab for out number one. But Wyatt taking this to the next level, from social media to also being the backbone of this broadcast and creating an entire replay system for us and putting all the graphics up there for y'all. And so I know y'all appreciate that. Couldn't do it without him, so I'm so thankful for you and all you've done. It's a 13-1 ball game here. Miners leading the Chinooks. 3 runs in the first 2 innings, 5 in the third, 2 runs in the fifth, and the Chinooks scoring 1 run 2 innings ago, and a big swing and a miss there from Dylan Gardner.
Well, thank you for that, Josh, and I have to return it, though. You've been excellent on play-by-play this year, and I'd like to say that I appreciate that you let me ease into this commentary thing because I had no idea what I was doing as there's a ball low. So thank you for that. It's been a great summer, and we've really enjoyed doing this.
Yeah, we really have. I mean, looking back, it may not have worked out in the Chinooks' favor for playoffs or in the win column too much, but there have been some big ones in there for the Chinooks, and we've tried to keep it in favor of the Chinooks in a good way, as this one's in foul territory, and a good catch by Porter for out number 2 in foul territory to get Garner. He's 0 for 3. Now Pate Fullerton comes up. No, excuse me, it'll be Patty McCormick who came in a moment ago in relief, as did Trevor Cho for Hayden Keller. So, again, Hayden Keller ended the day perfect offensively. 2 walks and a double. And now Patty McCormick comes in for Pate Fullerton to close out this one, and he will get hit right in the hand and start walking down to first base. And it's going to be instead called for a foul ball. Marcus Dolan saying that it actually hit the knob of the bat, I guess. I'm not sure. It'll go as strike 2, I believe. I believe that's an 0-2 count.
It is. I don't know how that would have hit the bat. Patty looked like he was definitely in pain. It definitely got him in the hand. I don't think he would have done that to try and draw the base. But nonetheless, that's the call, so that's what we'll go with.
Well, Patty definitely wore one somewhere on the hand. The question is if it hit his fingers or not, because it's part of the bat. But this pitch is going to be grounded to the left side, base hit. Patty McCormick doesn't even care about the hit by pitch. She'll just get a base hit, single into left field, and you know his mom's pretty happy, fired up, watching his son play here and get a base hit through the 6-5 hole. Third hit for the Chinooks today and keeps the inning going as the top of the order, Mason Corbett, will come back up. Corbett will try and reach here as Mason is 0 for 3 today with a strikeout in the third, lined out to short in the first, 4-3 ground out to second base in the fifth. Barnhouse coming set, deep breath, delivery home. Big swing and a miss. Corbett out in front, ties the count at 1-1. Patty McCormick's 12th hit. He's got 2 doubles, as well as 1 triple this season. No home runs. 1-1 delivery. Missing low. It's a good pitch, just a little bit off. And the left-hander of Connor Bush is warming in the bullpen for the Miners. Chinooks do not have anybody, and for some reason, Barnhouse is picking off here, up 12 runs.
Never stop playing hard.
I guess so, but you shouldn't be worried about Patty McCormick when you're up 12 runs. Pops it up and out of play. 2s across the board, 2 outs. No coach teaches that. 15 hits for the Miners, 4 for the Chinooks. Correction, 3 for the Chinooks. Scoreboard reads 4. Delivery home. And strike 3 will get Corbett. Change up on the outer edge. And the Chinooks will strand 1 as Jess Davis will wait his turn. 3 full innings left. 13-1 when we come back.
We are back for the top of the 7th, bottom of the 7th. It's the top. Eric Webb is at the plate. Corbin Barker's out for his second inning of work, and I'm joined by the president of the Chinooks fan club, Tim Bartow. How you doing, Tim?
Doing well, Wyatt. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I wish this game was a little more in the Chinooks' favor, as that's gonna just fall in for a infield base hit.
Yep. But you know, there's still a good crowd out here tonight, and most of them have stuck around, and I'm very happy to see that.
Yes, you and me both. What can you say about this team though this year? As you are probably one of our biggest supporters. What have you missed? 2 games this year?
I missed one in Kenai and one for work.
Yep.
Yeah. That was it. But you know, obviously the win-loss record has not been what we wanted, but it's a great group of young men. And we had fantastic turnouts, and I don't see any loss of support from the fan base. So overall, I'm still looking at it as a positive thing.
Yeah, and I'd have to agree with that. This fan base has supported this Chinooks team through everything, through wins and losses, and that's going to be a big swing and a miss from Tyler Porter, so that'll put it at a 1-1 count. And we've really enjoyed being up here and being a part of this community for the summer. I know from the Chinook standpoint, this is one of the best communities I think any of these guys will ever play for, as that one's fouled off. We've had a lot of support from everybody involved, and a lot of these fans are here every night, just like you. And
absolutely.
What can you say about this organization from a fan's perspective?
It is. I love being a part of this organization. It is it's my toy box in life, to be quite honest with you. It's just pure fun. Did we strike him out?
Yeah, it's a big strikeout for Corbin Barker. That's going to be his second in 1 2/3 innings, and that's going to bring up Justin Kirby. Go ahead.
And I was just going to say that the community's still showing up, despite again the record we had this year. It shows how much they enjoy having this team here, and how much this team means to them. I've talked to a few players already. Trevor Cho, just a little while ago, actually, asked him how his summer went, and he said, best summer I've ever had. And so I asked him what he's going to do after he goes back for his senior year and graduates, and he says going to coaching. And so you hope to come back here and coach someday? And he said that would be awesome. So we'd love to see things like that. We'd love to see players returning, coaches returning, and guys just continuing to support the program.
Yeah, it's. I think that's the sentiment around the camp right now. That this has pretty much been the best summer for most of us for our lives.
That's pretty cool.
That's going to be called strike one. It's a 2-1 count here to Justin Kirby.
And we've had the best weather we've ever had in our 2.5 decades. My family's 2.5 decades up here.
It has been beautiful, except for that week where it was 85 and sunny the whole time. But other than that, it's been incredible.
We had a couple windy nights. We only had one rain out, which is unbelievable. Usually we have 4, 5. With games you have to make up, but not this year.
Yeah, and that rainout actually worked in the Chinooks' favor and almost got us into the playoffs. But we're gonna fall a couple of wins short of that.
Yeah, we are.
And there's another strikeout, so that's going to be the second out and the second strikeout in the inning.
This young man's got a lot of poise for incoming freshman.
He really does, and Brian Cardone was just in here getting an interview in the last half, and he said some wonderful things about Corbin and how he's really matured, and I've seen it too, and we all have. He's been a great asset to this team to see basically a senior in high school come out here and to compete against the level of guys that he's competing with, as that's grounded to Dylan Gardner. He sets his feet, throws to first, gets the out. That he's been really impressive for all of us here.
Yeah, he's got a good college career ahead of him.
Yes, he does. That's going to be the end of the top of the 7th. We'll head to the bottom, and it'll be Jess Davis, J. Paul Fullerton, and Ethan English up when we come back. We are back for the bottom of the inning as Jess Davis will step into the box for the Chinooks. He's had a pretty good day with a walk and a stolen base and then a double in his next at-bat. He's hit 2 for 3. On the mound now is Connor Butler for the Miners. He's faced the Chinooks a couple of times, and he's done pretty well this season. I don't have his stats in front of me right now as that first pitch is fouled off. Tim Bartow is still joining me here. Tim, what are some of the things that the Booster Club does for this organization?
Well, we raise money. That's one thing. We raise money, and we develop community awareness of the team. We're still finding out that a lot of people in the business and even church communities don't know who we are. So we're trying to get the word out. That's one of my big goals, especially for this upcoming off season, to just get the word out so we keep getting people to come out to the ball games.
And we've noticed that there's been a lot of billboards and signs around town. Chinooks game today, and is that something that you've been a part of?
That has been a part of the team since they've been here, but we've tried to increase that. We bought a lot more signs this year, put them up, again, a little more visibility. In addition to that, we're the ones who help get housing and meals for the team.
And Jess Davis is going to swing and miss, and that'll be strike 3.
Sorry about that.
His first strikeout of the day, and that'll bring up J. Paul Fullerton for his second official at bat. He's got a couple of walks today.
Hey, if I go back to what we were talking about Corbin earlier, I was talking to his host family the other night, and they were just so impressed with Michael and Corbin this year, staying at their place. And we get that a lot from our host families, which is really, really nice.
Yeah, we've heard a lot of great things about all these guys up here. The Barker brothers and the Fullerton brothers are with a different family, and all the families that we've talked to have really enjoyed doing this, and most of them have done this for a long time and keep having Chinooks come.
Yeah, quite a few. So it must be a decent thing to do. And then we've had a few new families this year, and they've already said they want to keep doing it. So that's good, and that's always a big headache for any and all the ABL teams.
That's going to be popped up shallow right, and it's going to go in and out of the glove. That's going to be a base hit and a double for J. Paul Fullerton. Tough play there for the right fielder. He sprinted in and did kind of a half dive, but wasn't able to make the play, so that is going to go as a double.
I'd like to wrap up housing by early spring this year, if we can, or for this upcoming season. Just get that headache out of the way, and that's one less thing Coach Beck has to worry about.
Yeah, I'm sure that's not an easy thing to do. Find people that are willing to let a couple of college guys come and stay in their home for a summer, and a lot of them are letting guys use their vehicles if they need them, and they've been really friendly as that is laced to left field. It's going to get down. It's going to be extra bases, and J. Paul Fullerton's going to come in to score. Ethan English is in with a stand-up double.
All right.
Chinooks are inching their way back into this ballgame. And that is his second hit today. The first one a single to about the same spot. And that'll bring up Trevor Cho.
Trevor Votto Cho. I call him Joey. I call him Votto because he looks just like Joey Votto, but no one else is buying into that. So
I can see it. I see what you're doing there.
Thank you.
As that pitch is going to come in low, and you are a big Reds fan, are you not?
Big time Reds fan.
Are you happy with the trades that have happened recently?
Picking up Bauer was a great thing. I like that. I don't mind getting rid of Puig. I'm not sure I like getting rid of Jeanette, but he had a big contract coming up, and I think he was probably looking at greener pastures anyhow.
Yeah, that's usually how that goes for teams that are not in the run. A lot of guys will finish their contract and get out of there, unfortunately. That's a great snag by the first base coach that we had in here earlier, Sam Potter. He's enjoying himself over there, and I think the fans are giving him a little bit of cheers for that.
He's had a good season too.
He has. All of these assistant coaches here have been a blast to have around, really.
Yep. Troy even mentioned, boy, he wouldn't mind coming back. Talked to him the other day. Again, that's always nice to hear.
Yes, it is. And back to the Chinooks Booster Club. You guys run the theme nights around here as well?
We do, and that's one way that we bring in income and just getting people out to the ballpark. If a company or an individual wants to sponsor a night, then we call Buy Out the Park. And
that's going to be strike 3 right down the middle to Trevor Cho and bring up Daniel Freeman. Go ahead.
It gets good advertising for them. It gives us a little bit of income, and it just makes coming to the ballpark fun, because usually the companies that sponsor will bring out some trinkets to give away or set up a tent and just do something fun, and that's always good. A little more activity at the ballpark is always good.
And if there's a company out there who wants to support the Chinooks, how would they go about contacting you?
Get a hold of me, man. My email's on the and phone number's on the Chinooks website.
All right, the Chinooks website. That's your go-to if you would like to support the Chinooks for next season. I'm sure they're already looking for sponsors here, and that's going to be called a bulk.
I didn't see it, did you?
I don't know what happened. It looked clean to me. Josh is telling me that he didn't really come set. He was moving his hands around, and so that'll be a no pitch, and the runner will advance on a balk. That's, I think, the third balk that we've seen this season. A couple for the Chinooks, and then this one for the Miners. And that pitch is also high, so it's 2-0 count.
Another thing the Booster Club does is we run the Chinook Shack, our snack shack here. And that is a big source of income for us.
Yeah, and of course the Chinooks don't charge for tickets here.
Never have. Hopefully we never will. Keeps families coming out to the game.
And that's going to be popped up in foul territory, but still playable. And the first baseman will get under it to end the inning. Before we get off, Tim, I'd just like to say thank you for all that you do and all that the Booster Club does. We really, really appreciate the support that we get from you guys.
You're welcome, Wyatt. Thanks for having me. Thanks for doing what you and Josh did this year.
You're welcome. We are going to head to the top of the 8th, and it'll be Josh Salem and Tyler O'Clair back with us. Going into the top of the 8th inning as Hannes Kindreich will relieve Corbin Barker. Barker did not give up any runs, only 1 hit, 2 strikeouts for him, and now Hannes Kindreich comes in for the 8th inning. His first pitch here is swung on and completely missed by Colin Montez. It's the 7-8-9 Montez, Matt Palmer, Caden Hogan. 3 batters to face the right-hander out of Biola University. And I am joined by Tyler O'Clair. You just heard from the head of the Booster Club, Tim Bartow, and now you get to hear from another player for the Chinooks, O'Clair. And what can you say about your time up here?
I've had a blast. Everything's been a lot of fun, even when we go on these grueling hikes. Because some of them are a lot longer than we anticipate, and they take a lot more out of you. And then once you get to the end, you're just kind of like, wow, this is amazing. Because there's some spots like going up to Barry, it's really rewarding because you get to see out, you get to see everything. You get to look down onto Loretta French here, and it's an amazing sight, and it's breathtaking.
Pops it up right to Hannes Kindreich. He'll call off everybody and make the catch on a little flare from Colin Montez. He flies out, and Montez, since then, he is now 1 for 2 today. Had the RBI single back in the 5th, and you can see Bear Mountain in right center. If you look at your screen, it basically goes right from center field all the way over to right field on your screen, and it'll bring up Matt Palmer, the Palmer, Alaska native, as Troy Hervey brings home plate umpires some new baseballs. Tyler, what are you going to take back with you to the University of Alabama at Birmingham that you've learned this season?
Baseball-wise, I'm going to have to take back a lot of the confidence stuff. Try to make sure that I have a good mindset no matter what happens. And that was a big thing that I wanted to work on personally coming up here, which I feel like I did a pretty good job about. And then with discipleship and everything, I'm hoping to be able to keep my...
Chopper to the left side, Brazil, transfer to first, the out made. Go ahead, Tyler.
I'm hoping to keep my walk with Christ and my head level, making sure that I'm not really swaying one way or the other, that I'll stay straight on that path.
Yeah, always on an uphill climb there, and that's what we talked about in discipleship, trying to work our relationship with the Lord daily. It's a daily decision to do that, and that's what relationships are about. Now Caden Hogan, the shortstop, will step in. Today he has a ground out, foul fly out to the catcher in the fourth, a strikeout in the sixth, and a sac fly that scored a run back in the third inning. And he's trying to reach for the first time here. Tyler, what is it like coming up here? What can you say about guys who are thinking about maybe coming up here and playing during the summer?
Don't think about it, just do it. you won't regret it at all. It's amazing.
Yeah, the scenery and the people, the environment, as that one's fouled back. 1-2 count.
It's absolutely amazing. There's some days where you're tired from any grind and you're like, well, is this worth it? When you come up here, if you have a day like that, you might wake up like that, but after you get going and you're out of the house and you start doing your everyday stuff, you realize that thought completely escapes your mind and you're thinking, wow, this is amazing. Because I know there's some days down in the bullpen where our arms feel like they're dragging or our bodies are just real toast, and we get out here and we're just like, we forget it all.
Yeah, it's just another game. And, we talked about it earlier. You weren't in here, but, baseball is just a game, and there's so much more to life than baseball. But all the same, you're playing for an audience of one in Christ Jesus and God, and trying to do that to the best of your abilities, as that's going to be a walk to Caden Hogan here with 2 outs. And it'll bring up the top of the order with Boulware. Kobe Boulware has reached every time but one back in the fourth inning. Fly out to center, a walk in the first, single in the second, third, and sixth. And he's having a great day. But what can you comment quickly just about Hannes and this guy on the mound right here and how well he's done this season? He's had his bumps and bruises, but all the same, he's very confident up there. He's had some great successes as well.
I think Hannes is a great pitcher. I think he's got a lot of things going for him. One being his mentality. He's not really letting things get to him. But also, too, he's got a good body for velo, and I think that he can still get some more out of him.
This one poked to Mason Corbett for the third out, and 1 run will be stranded. Go ahead, Tyler.
But, yeah, I think Hannes has got a great future. Even though he is an upperclassman, I still think however much time he's got left or however he chooses to spend the rest of his time, I think he's going to have a great future for it. So I think he's good.
Well, Tyler, any final remarks here about your time as a Chinook? Oh, never mind. You're going to keep going, actually, for another half inning. Great. Well, as of right now, we will pause for a moment. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. It's 13-2. And the Chinooks trying to climb back in this one. Need a lot of run support to do it. When we come back, it'll be Joe Brazil to lead things off for the Chinooks. Connor Butler back out, the left-hander out of going into his sophomore year at the University of Hawaii out of Eagle, Idaho. 5'11" left-hander to face Joe Brazil here, and the fastball runs well out. Still here with Tyler Auclair, and Tyler, you know, you've gotten to grow close to the pitchers on this team, but also the hitters. What can you say about just the resiliency of this team?
Coach Growth really puts it into everybody's perspective, and the other teams in the ABL have said this before, but we're not going to go quietly. We're going to come back, and either it's your job to stop us from coming back, or we're going to just do our best to make you turn over, because we're not just going to roll over for you. Some scorers may not say that we fought back too hard, but we try our hardest for everything. Like, we're not going to just play dead for you.
Yeah, no question about that. The Chinooks have been in some tight battles, many close games that they haven't been able to win. That one will bounce in front of the plate, and a check swing from Brazil will keep it alive as it flies right out of the stadium. But John Groth had a huge smile on his face over at the third base side, kind of shocked at the fact that that bounced.
Playing cricket over here now.
I wish Wyatt was in here when you said that. Wyatt is an avid cricket player. Curveball outside, 2-2 count, no outs here to the leadoff of Joe Brazil. 7-8-9 up of the third baseman Brazil, Gardner second baseman, and Patty McCormick at second as Gardner moved over to shortstop when Pate Fullerton came out. But 2-2 count, no outs here, and we'll have to tell Wyatt you said that as Butler will get a big strikeout there. Brazil swinging through it for strike three. His first time on a strikeout today. Reached twice earlier on an error and a walk. And Wyatt, you just missed it. Tyler mentioned cricket and how that pitch bounced in the dirt that Joe fouled back. Pretty cool. But now the left-hander of Gardner will step in. Oklahoma State Cowboy looking for a base hit here. He has got a strikeout today and 2 foul flyouts as the first pitch misses inside on the curveball. And this is the best that we've seen Butler against the Chinooks this year. A lot of good pitching, though. This league is phenomenal. I mean, you get guys from big D1s all over. The Chinooks probably the lesser of that. Don't have as many guys from D1s, but you're a D1 guy yourself at the University of Alabama at Birmingham. And what's it like coming up here and playing with now 3 teammates that you will have on your team because Pate Fullerton committed earlier this season?
It's great. It's a lot of fun. You kind of get to see what you're going to deal with in the fall when you're starting to do inter squads and doing some team practices. But it also gives you like a good look for how competitive at least the guys up here are going to be. And you kind of hear on social media and stuff about how the other guys that are in different leagues are doing. And so you just get antsy. You kind of get like, well, kind of want to get back to it now.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool because we get to see each other grow and each other kind of go through these phases where we might go down one day and have a bad day or just a rough day, but then we get to come back and see the next day because of how many games we play. We just come back and they're just right back at it.
Right, and you know, talk a little bit about your relationship with Pate Fullerton, because now Pate is committed from Jefferson College to go up and play with you, with his brother, J. Paul, and now you're going to get 2 Fullerton brothers. I know the family's happy about that, but now talk a little bit about that. And these guys are good as well. They're great players. All the guys on the Chinooks are good. What's it like to get a chance now to play with both those Fullertons as well as Jess Davis when you go back?
Well, Jess is great. He's got phenomenal feet out for the outfield. He's got a good read on the ball, and so I'm excited to see what he'll do for us again this year. But to see Pate and J. Paul play together, it'll be really cool because seeing them play up here, it's when J. Paul throws down to short for Pate to try to get a guy stealing, it's like they almost are
automatic.
Yeah. They're right there together on the same page. Nothing comes between them, and they're just right there on it. Never skip a beat.
Up and in. Watch your lips, Patty McCormick, as he will slide back out of the way of it. That'll be ball 1 up and in. 1-2 count, 1 out here. And at first base after drawing a walk is Dylan Gardner. And Dylan, whenever he gets on base, he likes to steal bags. He's got the speed to do it, got great jumps, and trying to get one here against the lefty. He doesn't go here, and that's going to be swung on for strike 3 to get McCormick. Mason Corbett, a lefty-on-lefty matchup, awaits. Well, is there anybody on this team that you specifically grown close to that you didn't know beforehand?
Joey Levitt, me and him. So when we went down to Kenai, we stay in the bingo hall, and we have to room up with 4 guys. So it's you and 3 other guys. Well, me and Joey kind of talked to each other about staying in the same room, just because we were like, well, I need a bed, you need a bed. Let's find another 2 people that need some guys. And Brandon Cody, one of Joey's teammates back in Biola, actually had a room where there's 3 open beds, and so Hayden Keller actually comes in and fills in that 4th slot. But me and Joey started to become throwing partners because Hannes had to throw with Brian because they were working on some similar pitches. But we've grown pretty close. We talk, and it's been a lot of fun. He's a really good guy.
Yeah, Joey's pretty awesome, and you know, I mentioned it today, but we'd all agree he's like the veteran Christian on this team. He acts like the dad and the guy who knows what's going on, and pretty awesome guy at that. And
we kind of tease him a little bit. We call him, I call him Grandpa.
Yeah, his teammate Hannes Kindreich back out for his second appearance on the mound, second inning of work for the 9th inning. It's 13-2. Tyler, any final remarks?
This summer was amazing. It's just breathtaking about everything we've done. The season may not have ended the way we wanted it to, but it's been a blast, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Well, thank you so much for joining on with us just for a full inning. The 8th inning, we go to the 9th, though. It's 13-2. When we come back, Hannes Kindreich trying to get 3 outs against the Miners when we come back. Well, we are back for the 9th inning. Kindreich will face Huff, Webb, and Tyler Porter as the 3 batters here. Cody Huff still looking for his first hit today. Did reach once on a hit by pitch as well as a fielder's choice back in the 3rd. He will have a broken bat single to left field. Just a flare as he'll chip the wood, and you can throw that one in the fireplace. And it'll be a leadoff single here for Huff. And then now Webb. Webb again, the leader in the ABL in average, as well as had an incredible day today. He's got a hit by pitch where he scored a run in the 1st, a walk in the 2nd, didn't score though. A RBI triple back in the 3rd, did score in that inning as well, and then a double back in the 5th, and he is a home run away from the cycle. Had a single in the 7th, an infield single. Big swing and a foul ball out of play. 1-1 count, no outs. Chinooks looking for a double play. They've turned 1 back in the 6th inning off of Huff. Miners still leading by 11, 13-2 here. 16 hits for him to the 6 for the Chinooks. 4 errors for the Chinooks, 1 for the Miners. Delivery home, curveball, strike 2. And this kid is special for sure. This hitter of Eric Webb leads the league in hits. He's over 50 now with today. Came in with 49. Check swing. Did he go around? Good block for J. Paul Fullerton. No appeal to Tom Sloboda, the first base umpire. Right-hander warming in the bullpen for the Miners. We'll likely see him in the 9th. That is Jack White. Typical closer. Looks like the Miners want to see him for an inning of work. Pitch missing low, full count awaits. Wind picking up to right field. And Wyatt, what can you say about Hannes Kindreich and the season he's had? We just heard a little bit from Tyler, but also just the adversity he's had to overcome. Hard hit ball. Joe Brazil unable to grab it, and that'll be a base hit again for Eric Webb. That ball was absolutely crushed. And 17th hit now for the Miners. He's got 4 of them today, but what can you say about Hannes?
As you said, Hannes has had a little adversity to face, and a lot of his games he'd come out and there'd just be weak contact and things that just little bloop hits, kind of like that one where it's right to somebody, but it's just too much to handle, and it's been kind of an unfortunate season for him at times, but he has worked harder than just as hard as anybody out there. He's never given up. He's been on that mound trying to compete for outs every time that he steps up there, whether or not the situation is in his favor. And you love to see that from a guy. And he has had, again, some great outings out here, and then some not so great. But to see a guy go up there and live the way that he says he will and go, and he doesn't care what people think about him. He doesn't care about, as that's going to be just past another glove of Ethan English, and they're just going to go bag to bag now. Nope, he's going to take off from third. Throw home is not going to get him.
That'll be an error against Corbett. He bobbled it in right field, unfortunately, and 5th error against the Chinooks today brings in the 14th run, unearned run. Cody Huff was going station to station. It loaded the bases, but Porter with the single does not go as an RBI in favor of him, and it's 14-2 now. 1 more run added. Miners hadn't scored since the 5th inning with their 2 runs. Now Robbie Brew is into the game to hit and replace Justin Kirby. Strike 1, bottom of the zone. Justin Kirby finished the day with 2 hits on RBI singles, a hit by pitch, and then 2 strikeouts. Next pitch to Brew, swung on and missed. 0-2 count, no outs here.
And I do want to echo what Eau Claire said as to finish off. He said that, sometimes this season hasn't gone our way, and there have been a lot of ups and downs, and more downs than ups, really. But one of the things we've really focused on, and that I try to live every day, that this is a game that we get to play. Every day we get to come out here and play a game, and all we had to think about all summer was playing baseball, and that is an unbelievable thing. So we're trying not to take that for granted at all, as that's going to be a strikeout for Hannes Kindrake. But to come up here and just experience God's beautiful creation in Alaska and hang out with some of the best guys you'll ever meet and play baseball every day is something that I'll never forget, and I'll never take it for granted.
For sure, and it's been a crazy season, no doubt, and runners on the corners here as this one's popped up out of play on the left-hander Aaron Walters. Chinooks looking for a double play to get it out of the inning, keep it a 14-2 lead for the Miners going into the bottom of the 9th. Chinooks will need 12 to tie, 13 to win.
I think we can do it.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Take it one guy at a time, and you're likely going to be facing the right-hander of Jack White, redshirt freshman out of New Mexico University, Albuquerque, New Mexico native. And that's strike 2 at the bottom of the zone. 1-2 count, 1 out.
That's the beautiful thing about baseball, and if we're honest, we're probably not going to come back and win this one, but there is always that possibility.
Yeah.
Until that 27th out is recorded, it's not over, and we've seen some big comebacks over the years.
Curveball in the dirt, good block for Fullerton. Keeps runners on the corners here. Porter at first. At third base is Eric Webb. A 2-2 count ensuing with 1 out here. Yeah, no lead is safe ever. You take it one guy at a time. Pops it up, out of play, top of the screen. Ricochets back towards Colin Montez. And Troy Hervey, who we spoke with earlier, the pitching coach, will come out. Pitching coach out of Frostburg State University. And he'll trot back after retrieving the foul ball. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 will get Aaron Walters as well, and it'll bring up Colin Montez.
2 strikeouts in a row for Hannes Kindrake.
Yeah, back-to-back.
Both swinging, missing bats out there on the mound.
18 hits for the Miners. They've got 3 in this inning. 2 strikeouts, though. Montez up next, trying to bring in another run. He'll take low and inside, ball 1. Crazy. It seems like yesterday we were playing the Miners for game 1 back on June 5th to open it up. Ground ball, first base side, foul ball. Tom Svoboda calling for it as well. And in case you're listening, you want to come up, it's half-price hot dogs and some other goodies there as well. I believe he said half price. It was either half price or $1. I can't remember.
I think it was
which
half
one.
price.
Half price sounds a little bit better. Pops it up to left field, shallow left, going back Dylan Gardner, a long run, and he'll make the grab. Third out, 2 stranded for the Miners, but 1 run gained, an unearned run as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, 14-2 the lead. Well, we'd like to give a great shout out to Stacy Dunbar, one of the umpires who's tuning in tonight. Been a pleasure getting to meet him and know him. He's done a great job all season throughout the ABL, coming out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. And, you know, only thing we ask out of umpires is consistency, and that guy's one of the best when it comes to that. So we're very thankful for it. Very rarely misses any calls, and Jess Davis to lead things off here as we're in the bottom of the 9th. 14-2 lead for the Miners. They added 1 in the top of the 9th. 18 hits to the 6 for the Chinooks, and Jack White is coming in to close out the game. 6'4", 200 redshirt freshman at New Mexico University, Albuquerque, New Mexico native, and he's had his successes this season, especially as a reliever. And that one's poked out of play. His ERA and record doesn't show it. 0-4, 7.10 ERA. 14th appearance now. 19 innings on the mound. 21 strikeouts to his 13 walks, 22 hits. But only recently has he picked up 2 more losses. That was against the Pilots in both games. That one way inside, and Jess Davis, by some miracle, gets out of the way of it. A 3-1 count to deal with here. Davis, Fullerton, English. 3 batters to face White for sure. Smash to left center field, and it's going to be directly at Kobe Boulware, who robs a base hit away from Jess Davis. Hardest hit ball of the night for Davis, but comes as a line out to left field to open it up. Jack White this season has pitched against the Chinooks in 4 straight games from July 16th through July 21st. July 10th through July 21st. And only one of those games the Chinooks won, and it was a 15-1 victory. Only one game did the Miners win. It was a 15-1 victory for them, as that one's poked foul on the left side out of play. But the other three after that were 3 straight wins for the Chinooks. Jack White did not pick up a loss in any of those, but did struggle in July 18th's game. 4 earned runs given up in a 9-4 victory for the Chinooks. 0-1 count here to Fullerton. Takes outside and off the plate. Ball 1. Cody Huff has moved again for the 4th time. Robbie Brew coming in behind home plate, and then Cody Huff going back to third base.
He's all over the place.
Yeah, he is. And Tyler Porter gets to go back to second base to his main position, primary position. Smash first base side, backhand for Aaron Walters, and he'll take it himself for out number 2. Chinooks an out away from the season being over with, but it brings up Ethan English with Trevor Cho moving on deck. English in his last 2 at-bats has RBI singles. So 3U for those scoring at home. English looking for a 3-hit day. He'll step into the right-hander's batter's box for likely the final time as a Chinook. And it'll be worn right on the upper leg for a hit by pitch. The inning will continue. So English will take the slow trot down to first base. In the hit by pitch category for English, though, that is his 6th time he's gotten hit. That is tied for the most with Jess Davis on the team. Couple guys right up there. 35th time the Chinooks have been hit this season. Big swing and a miss. Foul tipped, I guess, just right off of the edge, as shown by Marcus Dolan, the home plate umpire. Strike 1 anyways, 2 outs. Cho trying to get to the next guy as Ethan English reached base on a hit by pitch. And this pitch runs wide. Colin Montez also moved back over to right field. Justin Kirby came out. And this pitch is popped up out of play. 1-2 count. Chinooks down to their last strike here with 2 outs. Jack White needs a short break. Has to retie the left shoe. Nice Under Armour. White and black shoes. I believe that's Under Armour. It's tough to see from here. It's getting a little bit dark here, but it looks to be Under Armour shoes. Sporting the cleats, and Robbie Brew will set up away. 1-2 count delivery. Missing inside, ball 2. Cho came in the 6th inning and struck out looking for the second to last out in the 7th inning. He's trying to reach for a first time today. 2-2 pitch. Taken away. Full count will ensue. English will be on the move. Aaron Walters hasn't been holding him here this whole time. And so he'll be on the move towards second. 3-2 delivery home. Pokes it up on the left side. Will it be playable? A long run for Huff. He'll make the basket catch. Chinooks will end it. 14-2 victory for the Miners. They will host as second place as they knock off the Pilots down to third place. And the Miners finish with 26-18. They tie the Pilots at 26-18, but because they won the series, they will host now as the second place team. The Bucks 29-14. The Peninsula Oilers, the fourth place seed at 15-29. The Chinooks fall to 13-30 on the season. And we just would like to take this time to thank everybody who has supported the Chinooks this season. The fans, the Chugiak Eagle River community as a whole, the league, the coaches, umpires, teammates, and all the host families for their support and friendship this season. Thank you so much for tuning into the games. We couldn't do it without y'all listening in to us. It's been a pleasure to call the games for the Chinooks. Got to thank my co-broadcaster here as well, Wyatt Wewell, and just been an awesome opportunity for me to get to know you and a great trip here.
Yeah, and I'll have to second that. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts for everything that you've all done for the Chinooks, from the community here in Chugiak and Eagle River and up into Wasilla, to the parents and supporters back home. Without every one of you, this wouldn't be possible, and this has been the best summer of our lives.
Yeah,
I think it's fair to say for pretty much everybody here. So thank you for that.
Yeah, for sure. From the bottom of our hearts, thank you. And the knowledge that we've gotten up here in discipleship, as well as the lifelong friendships that we've gotten to make, just playing the game that we love and getting to broadcast it for you has been absolutely amazing. Just shy of perfect, I would have to say myself. And for Wyatt and I, as the last time, thank you so much for tuning in again. God bless and have a great year.